Well, let's get started with episode 293 of the Current Gen podcast. My name is Tim. I'm here with Kyle and Dan. Boys, we're back. We did it. We
We're back.
we previewed the end of the year. Now we're back to talk about new
Mhm.
games. I know last week people were probably like, Ghost of Yotei came out and you had nothing to say. Yeah, sorry, we didn't record after we got a chance to play it. But that's this week.
Wait,
Ghost
hold
of
on. So if
Yotei
that
and
wasn't
Fury.
us, then who was that? Who
I
was
don't
who
want
was
to talk
here
about
last
it, Dan.
week?
Let's just say they weren't of this world. Okay. It's funny. We were just
Doppelgangers.
talking
Dimensional
about
doppelgangers.
Pokemon, and one of my kids was saying that Ditto is like got the most aura. I think is the way he put it, and I was like, I just can't believe that that's true. But anyway, he was like, yeah, he could
I
be
don't.
anything.
Okay.
He can be anyone.
I think he lacks an aura. I think that's the thing that scares me about him. I think
Yeah,
he
it's
lacks.
the dead beady eyes. You know what I mean?
It's the
It's
dead
like,
everything. Everything about his essence is dead. I don't sense
Yeah.
an aura at all.
I mean,
I don't
No.
know, the
there
kids
was
these
a
days,
movie back in the day about that, right? Like the Blob, Attack of the Giant Blob, or whatever it was.
Yeah, the Blob.
was,
Yeah,
uh,
a 50s
the
movie
Blob,
and then a
yeah.
remake of the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
good stuff.
It's true.
Uh,
But anyway, so maybe it was a bunch of dittos that were doing our episode last week. I don't know. I can't guarantee anything. But I do know that we are right into the thick of it with fall releases, and we've got a bunch of new stuff to talk about that came out over the last couple of weeks. So we'll get into that. We'll get into a couple of headlines. We'll try to keep it positive. That's what we do around here. But there are certainly some negative headlines that we'll have to address. And you know what we'll do? We won't try to depress any of you watching or listening. We're going to try to make you laugh a little bit. Okay? We're going to make fun of it. We're going to talk about the ridiculousness of all of it. So maybe we can laugh at it, even if it's bad news. How about that?
laugh through
So
the pain.
we'll try to do some of that. We'll laugh through the pain, and then we'll cry together afterwards. We'll wrap up with a cry sesh, if you guys are up for
Good.
that.
I like that.
And then we'll wrap it up with anything else that we're playing. I know I have been spending a ton of time playing stuff like No Man's Sky, and I'm like, oh, I can't stop playing these older games. So if you've got anything that's not brand new that you want to talk about, we'll wrap up with that. But we got to kick it off with the latest from Sucker Punch. Ghost of Yotei is finally here. And before we bring up a video of the game, kind of some B-roll that we can watch while we chat about this, I wanted to tell you guys, I haven't had a chance to play it as much as I'd like. I played it probably more today than I have the last, week and a half that it's been out. Because my PS5 controllers are broken, basically. Like, they're just done. So I played through it at first, but the camera kept slightly turning, and I would kind of just hold it in place a little bit, and then it would turn real fast, and the stick drift on both controllers is
Not worth it.
real bad. One of them was bad for a while, and I knew which one. I just left it in the drawer, and then now the second one is starting to get. Now, to be fair, they're both, 4.5 years old or whatever, 4 years old. However long I've had the PS5, they're not like brand new, but it does seem silly to me that they are essentially unusable. I went to the PlayStation website. They're not under warranty anymore, which I didn't realize there wasn't a warranty. So as much as we give Nintendo a hard time for charging premium prices and all the crazy stuff they do, they still repair Switch controllers, like the Joy-Cons. If you send them in, they'll swap them out for you. So I do like that. Sony, not so much.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, the silver lining, it's birthday week for me, so I'm able to treat myself with a little less guilt. So I ran over to Best Buy today and picked up a replacement controller. Here she is.
Oh, is that the God of War
treat
one?
yourself.
Is that what
No,
it is?
it's
the
the
Ghost-
Yotei one.
Oh, the sushi.
Yotei
The Yotei. Yeah, the big
Yeah.
samurai probably would have given that
The
away.
actual the slices are actually like grooved into the controller too, and it's on the back a little bit too. There's a couple.
Wouldn't
of
it be
grooves.
funny if you like hated the game, like you give it another week and you're like, I
I
actually
know.
hate this game. Like I hate it so much.
I
And,
know.
like now you're stuck with that controller.
Yeah, now the good news is it is a very cool looking controller. I love the gold inlay, the samurai in the field, like the swooshes that go down the side. So like I am all in. I like the way this looks. I liked the way that the Switch OLED looked also, the Tears of the Kingdom one. I like that design with the white with the gold on it. I think it looks great. So I like it a lot, and thankfully I can actually play the games. I played it for like an hour and a half more today, but I'm still so early in this game that I was hoping to be super far into so we could all have a real deep conversation about it. I have a feeling you guys are way farther than I am into it. But I'll put up the video, and I just want to give everyone my early impressions of this game. It's super cool. Looks beautiful. Plays great. If you liked Ghost of Tsushima, I think you'll like this, unless you really don't like the idea that the protagonist is female, then that's just a you problem, I think. The game itself is fantastic. It really is fantastic. And it's got a very straightforward, at least at the beginning, straightforward storyline that you'll see in every game, movie, TV show, and of this kind of genre, where there's like, oh, your peaceful village slash family was horrifically murdered or somehow attacked, and now you're going out to get revenge. So, I mean, it's all the standard stuff that I want and really like in this genre. So, I am really enjoying it so far, but I don't have a ton of deep, thoughtful things to say outside of my first few encounters with the game. I'm very, very early on, but I'll bring it up and let you guys share what your thoughts are so far on Ghost of Yotei. Kyle, I think you're the one spending the most time with it so far, but I could be wrong. Dan, you might be like
Dan beat
dozens of
it.
hours.
He pulled me aside. He goes, I beat it. I
Dover.
played all of it.
Yeah. So, Kyle, how much of this game have you gotten into so far, and what are your thoughts?
Did you first off? Did you get like to the opening title screen?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
I really,
I'm-
I really like that title screen a lot. That opening, moment where you're. I know the first one had like a cool like horse sequence where you're like going through the fields or whatever. They're like, how do we do that,
Yeah.
but like better? And they're like, big mountain in the
Right.
background, running down a valley.
Yep.
Title. It's so good. I thought it was great. Music swelling. It was
Yeah,
beautiful. You get off
I've
your
gotten
horse,
to
you
the
look.
point
It's great.
where it's open. I'm adding things to the map. I'm using my telescope to mark some things. I've done my first bounty. Like I've done a few of the first like
Cool.
intro-y
You got to the
things.
end and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I did all the end stuff. Unlocked some people to talk to, and I've got a few different directions I could now go. And I'm trying to gather intel on these members of the Yotei 6 that I'm going after. I've done camp
that
a
was
few
weird.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. I've gotten some progress into it, but again, it's probably, if there's a percentage, I can't imagine it's more than 5%. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
sure.
pretty early. Yeah.
Hold on, can you start from
yeah.
the no, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, yeah. Dan,
Dan, did you
we're gonna
lose some
start with
audio
Dan.
for a second there? Did you lose us?
Yeah, my ear, like the Bluetooth, like just stopped working for some reason, so I just like
Ah.
turned it off, turn it back on. It's fine. So
Oh, great.
I think we can still hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
yeah. No, my microphone is fine. It's just my earbuds like shut off for whatever reason.
Oh, bummer. Okay.
I am present. So
But you are here.
yeah, we're playing as
Yeah.
a lady, so we're all mad, right? Is that what we were talking about?
I am. I
Yeah.
actually stopped it. I was like, hey, that's okay. Yeah, especially after coming off of something like Blue-Eyed Samurai, which I don't know if y'all watched that or not, but like I
Ooh,
was
great
Yes.
show.
one of the best things I've seen animated wise in years, and was just so smitten.
This reminds
by
me a lot
that.
of the
And
character reminds
this
me a lot.
reminds
of
me
that
a
character.
lot of that, even like story beats
Mhm.
of revenge and yada yada. Like it's very applicable. And I even found a really cool blue kimono that I rocked, like, or run around kind of looking like her. So that's been fun.
Nice.
Yep.
But I'm really enjoying this game. I thought this opening that we're seeing right now, where you're heading towards the first
The
guy, I
snake
forget his
guy?
name, the snake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool. You're strolling into town. It's very cinematic. It's super cool. A lot
It even
going
has
on
the
in
classic
town now.
moment where the bandits are needlessly picking on a horse and laughing while they
Oh,
throw
yeah.
rocks at it. I was
Right.
like, what is this?
Like these
Yeah,
guys are
of
the bad
course,
guys. They
of
throw
course.
rocks at horses. I'm like, yeah, I know.
That's
I
what
know
they
the
do.
bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to
Yeah.
die now. They have to die.
Yeah.
right.
So I do. It does lean on kind of some of those like storytelling tropes and stuff like that. But it's just effective. I like it. I like on the nose stuff like that, and I like that. It's
You know what it made me?
wearing
It actually made me
inspirations
think
on
of
its
that
sleeve.
scene from Dances with Wolves when all the mean soldiers who capture Kevin Costner towards the end, they're shooting at the wolf and they're laughing about it as they like shoot at it, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, I missed it." It's just like you just want, like, the movie wants us to know these are
Yeah.
the bad guys.
Of
They're
course.
shooting at a
Right.
dog.
Yeah, it's story writing 101. That's a trick. Like if you're a villain, have them hurt an animal. If you're a hero, have them
Oh, of
pet or
course.
save an animal.
Or a
Like, that's,
child,
It's
you know?
literally like storytelling 101. Actually, animals it actually scores better with audiences than children of all things.
It's true.
I've looked into this.
Sure.
This particular like storytelling device, and it is
I-
true.
I've-
like
I've done
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, humans aren't big
that's-
fans of humans, is what we're saying.
No, we're not. Yeah,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
even less than smaller ones for some reason. We're like, kids, right? I'm like, why do we hate kids so much for?
Actually, sympathize less the smaller you are. So
Yeah, right.
yeah.
But enough skirting around it. I'm like 45% through this game, just under 50, just
Dang.
about
Oh,
to
wow.
kill my third person. So I went Oni first, and then Kitsune. And the cool thing about this place is that like there's a big giant open world in the middle of the map, and then like your Yotei 6 are like sequestered off in their own areas that they're like oppressing, and those areas are representations of like different like seasons. So it's like not time is not like
Yeah.
passing normally in this game. Like you go into an area like, oh, this area is obviously autumn, and this area is
Yeah.
obviously winter and yada yada, and
Okay.
I like that. So you kind of get that like Assassin's Creed shadows, which will probably be bringing this game up a lot, I imagine. um like I liked the season stuff in that game a lot. I really thought that was going to be missing in this game, and I like that there's at least a taste of it.
Hmm.
I still think the seasons changing is very impressive in Assassin's Creed. But yeah, I really, this game is so artistic that like when you walk into a new biome and it's like, hey, red is the color here. This is autumn. Oni red,
Yeah.
fire, oppression, yada yada. Like
Yeah.
it's just very 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 obvious. They're going for like color coordination here and with their storytelling and their graphics and everything. And again, I'm in the Kitsune area, which is like a mountain kind of wintry area, and it's cool. This game is very, very, very cool. And you said you got to the end, and I really like that feature of just being like, this is like your hub. You're kind of
Yep.
operating out of here. You're upgrading your stuff. When you're out in the
Yep.
wild and you set up camp, you have the chance for like strangers or people from that end to kind of stop by and sell you things, or talk about things that are on the map or whatever. And I just love that organic feeling of just like you don't really know where you're going unless you set off from the inn like towards a bounty, and then along the way you might run into a caravan that's like, hey, I saw a fox over there, or hey, I saw a Ronin over there, and you just kind of like pick up side quests and main quests that way. And I like that. I just like that the map is not like over cluttered and stuff like that. And I saw a lot of reviews say we're tired of the same open world stuff that this game does, and we're tired of of how cluttered, like how much just busy stuff there
Mm.
is to do this game. And I just couldn't disagree with that more. There's no clutter, there's
Yeah.
no there's so many different types of activities to do, and I don't think they're redundant or you're doing them too often. And I don't think that this game is anything like any other open world game in terms of how it presents its content to you. So I just don't agree with. I don't know where that comes from, but
I
I think
Yeah.
I
IGN
think
said
it's
that, and a couple
because
other big people said that. So
Yeah.
it's because you can technically pull up the map and be like, well, what's like you click on a thing and then put a marker and the wind guides you there. It's like
yeah,
you
but
can do that,
yeah,
and
but only if
it's
you know that
that's
thing exists. Only if you're like that
sure,
Right.
sure,
a
sure.
game. You've stumbled
But
upon
I'm
that
saying
thing
I'm wondering
organically.
if because people are just so programmed to play these games that like they want to be told where to go, but then they don't. Then they complain about it,
Yeah,
even though
they
they're
hate the
perfectly
Or
Ubisoft formula,
choosing.
but they're mad when it doesn't hold your hand like the Ubisoft formula at the same
yeah,
time.
maybe
Yeah,
that's
You
because
what
they're
it
a
like,
is.
little bit.
I'm not exactly sure, but
yeah, in this game you can just you want it like very much like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Like if you just
Yeah.
gallop in a direction, like you're gonna come
Totally.
across some stuff, like
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't think there's
so
any
you
like
can make it
walls that are like you
organic.
can't go here. Like like these guys are too strong for you. I
Yeah.
don't think that the game does that. And I think it even offers that you can kind of tackle everybody in any order that you want to. Obviously, maybe not the main bad guy Saito first, but like everybody else, it kind of seems like you can do that and kind of go anywhere. You're absolutely right. It
Yeah.
does feel like there is kind of like a like we kind of want you to go after this person first because like the Yotei 6 are like written on your sash like in an order,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
kind of working my way down that order, but like you don't have to do that. And it's cool
Right.
because like she
Yeah.
like slices off their name with like blood
Yeah.
whenever like she does, and if you do it out of order, like it like your sash conveys that for the rest of the game and in
That's
cutscenes,
cool.
and there's a dynamic
Yeah.
nature to that. And I just man,
Okay.
I don't know if I dislike anything about this game, to be honest. And I'm telling you, any other year this would be an immediate game of the year game. Any other year,
Mm.
it really would be. I'm not saying it can't be or it won't be or whatever, but like it just has a lot of competition this year. But like this is like one of
It
those
does.
games that I think we do wait all generation
Yeah.
for, and to get a game kind of like this, and it's here, and it's just here with a lot of company, sadly. So
Well, we just saw the upgrade tree there. What are your thoughts since you've been able to do a lot of upgrades with where you are in the game? I imagine you've been able to do a ton of those. What are your thoughts on the upgrades? They seem pretty meaningful just from a cursory glance when I looked at a
I
few of them, but
I think
yeah.
they're very meaningful, and I think again they parse out in the way that if you're exploring a lot, you're going to get really powerful. You get those moves and specialties and buffs and stuff by going to
Mhm.
altars, and and you can also follow foxes for charms. You can kind of create your own build and everything like that. So I think that those trees are good. And then there's a wolf tree too. So like when you find wolf dens and save wolves, your like
Yeah.
relationship with the wolf gets a little better. So maybe he shows up a little more often whenever you summon him or play a song. And that's the other thing. The song aspect of this game is awesome. Like I think it takes the place of a lot of like the poetry and stuff like that from the
Hang on,
first
we
game.
gotta see these foxes dance in happiness one more time.
Yeah,
Look
look
at
at
that.
that.
Like yeah,
Look
you
at
cut
when
those
you
bamboos.
slice it, they yay.
They're so happy. So yeah, I think the moves and stuff like that as you're unlocking the skill trees are they're linear. Like there's one way to go down. You're probably gonna end up unlocking everything by the time the game is done. But like I don't know if there's anything particularly wrong with that because if you're feeling underpowered, I'm just gonna go hit 10 altars real quick and just find a bunch. And like the cartographer in town may have a bunch of map pieces for sale. So if like I don't want to just wander around. I don't want to do that. I hate that. Maybe that's what you're saying. That's not me, but like some people might be like that. There is a cartographer that sells points of interest to you on maps for pretty low, for pretty cheap. So it's like if you need that hand holding, if that's what you're crying about, like that stuff is there for you. And I like how that game has a lot of options of how to, I don't know, address it. How to interact with it. I like how you just have a lot.
I mean,
of
honestly, after playing through, and I haven't finished it yet, but still playing Hell Is Us, this feels like a nice compromise between the two. Like Hell Is Us doesn't tell you anything about where to go. Well, I shouldn't say anything. It doesn't tell you a lot about where to go.
Yeah.
And then a Ubisoft game is like, to their credit, Shadows really gave you some options. Like, how much do you want us to guide you or not? Like, tell you. So like Shadows, Ubisoft is letting you kind of map a little bit how you want to be guided, which is really nice, by the way. I was going to elevate that.
I like that. I like the spy.
This is kind of in between, right? Where it's like a little bit of Breath of the Wild. Pull out your telescope to actually see what direction you're facing. There's a little compass built into the telescope there. And then as you focus in on things, you can kind of mark it from there. Like, oh, okay, there's the cemetery that I need to go to. It's like one of the first bounties is in the cemetery. Okay, cool. I'll go there. And so you can mark those things on your map. But even then, it's not giving you like an icon as you're riding on your horse here. You still have to know what direction you're going and then head there and kind of use landmarks. Like, okay, the mountain's there. I'm a little bit south of that. Let me go this way. So I still like that. It adds a level of immersion.
There is, and to that immersive stuff, there is the visual cues on the HUD itself, where it's just like I see a white smokestack over there. I either know it's a camp or a settlement or something like that. When you see a black smokestack, it's a bad guy hideout or a camp or something like that. So there are things that you're just like, it's not just like, hey, I want to go over to that hill over there. It's like, no, there's like obvious things in front of you that are like, oh, there's smoke, so there's people there. And I like that stuff. It just kind of like, it doesn't clutter. And I like not having a map on my HUD. I like a good mini map. Don't get me wrong. We all come from generations of using mini maps. I like mini maps, but I like that there isn't one in this game. It makes it unique. It makes it special.
Yep, I agree. Now, Dan, you've been playing this one at least a little bit, right? Or have you put a good amount of time into it?
So I'm in the area because I'm going after Oni first. That's just where I wound up. So I'm just kind of like doing stuff. You guys know me. I go into an area. I'm like, well, I gotta like turn over every rock, right? That's just what I gotta do.
Yeah.
But again, in this game, it's very like you just go in a direction and you do some stuff. So I've like bumped into some interesting characters. I found this NPC that was like getting like ambushed by these the Saito the Oni's like minion dudes, but she was like hurling like bombs at them. So like I helped her out, and now I have like that, which is super rad.
Nice.
So I have like an extra like because you get the bow like pretty early on. So that now
every weapon is a big story moment. Every weapon and piece of gear is like given to you by like a master or some kind of like story relevant thing. I love that. It's not just like, hey, I got this in a chest and it's just like unceremoniously given to you.
But like I stumbled across that area. Like I was just galloping and then like I just saw some ruckus going on over there. I was like, what's that about? So I like went over there and she was just hurling bombs at them and I was like, all right, well, let me see what this is about. And now I have bombs. So again,
well, I love it usually, except for when it costs Tears of the Kingdom Game of the Year because Dan doesn't play it correctly. Other than that, like I love that.
When the Zelda with no story doesn't have enough story for Dan, that's.
I played it the most correct because I was trying to beef up my hearts. You guys are just lollygagging.
My hearts were beefed up, and I got to play and enjoy it. So you're wrong.
I just didn't finish it, so I'll get back to it in like 2 years, just like I did with Breath of the Wild, right? Eventually,
that's
I
what
beat
did
it.
with Breath of the
Um,
On
Wild.
my deathbed,
but,
Dan will come alongside and hold my old man hand and be like, "You were right. Tears of the Kingdom was Game of the Year, 2023. You were right."
and then Tim's like,
Thanks.
"Thank you."
And
And
then
then
I'll
I'll
die.
be like looming over both of your beds to be like, now tell me that Baldur's Gate 3 deserved better.
It was Baldur's Gate
Like,
3,
tell me,
guys.
like tell me that it deserved better, and y'all are
No,
like
no, actually,
catatonic. I'm like, you tell me.
Kyle's gonna wait. Kyle's gonna wait until my last breath, and I'm gone, and he'll be like, "Okay, now that he's gone, we agree it's Baldur's Gate 3, right? Like we agree."
I'll like with my finger on your mouth. I'll be like, yeah, Kyle, yeah, this is
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah,
Like, Tim, thank you so much. This meant the world to me that you would say this at the last moment.
Yep. That's how it's gonna go.
I wanted to.
This is gonna be a very sweet moment. I can't wait for this, you guys. I'm looking forward to this.
And it's just
but
gonna
Dan,
be the
I'm
three
kind
of
of
us. Our families aren't there. Or anything.
Yeah, weirdly,
No,
it's
no,
just three of
yeah.
us. There's nobody else there. Yeah,
Yeah.
how oddly bizarre.
I wanted to
they
mention
actually called
the
you in because
beginning part,
on my
though.
deathbed I kept talking about Tears of the Kingdom. They're like, just bring his podcast guys in. I don't know,
We
just-
can't handle this. He's so far gone.
Yeah, that's all he thinks about right now. By the way, these camps are cool too, where you can pick up the little instrument to play. You can cook food. You can
Yes.
chit chat. Whether it's your camp or someone else's camp, you can just sit at
Food
these
gives you
random other
buffs.
merchants' camp.
Random
which is
NPCs
really
show up. Yeah.
So it makes me feel like I'm able to step into the world a bit when they add those little elements like that, which is really, really important in a game like this, where if it wants me to spend time here and explore and do what Dan's describing, where I'll just pick a direction that I'm probably supposed to go and kind of go that way and let adventures come to me, then you need to really immerse me in it. And all these little touches that they have, of course, the visuals are the biggest element. It's gorgeous to look at. So far, even early on, every environment just looks amazing. I mean, the only visual drawback is I think the faces still look a little funky when they're talking, but I'm fine with it. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like bad. It's not any worse than any other games that are out right now, to be totally fair. Like I love Kingdom Come Deliverance too.
Yeah.
Their faces looked a little funky when it wasn't the official cutscenes. So, but even that's not a drawback. Their faces are still very detailed. All the characters, well, except for guys like that with the beard, most of the characters look very unique and kind of stand apart. They give them some really cool elements, whether it's hair or facial expression or something, a scar, whatever it is, to make them kind of stand out. So they've done a really good job on the design for this game too.
Well, speaking of the environments, I just usually don't mess around with photo mode, and here I am again, just like Tsushima, messing around with photo mode. like
That's fun.
like more than any other, even like Rebirth, because I'm pretty sure Rebirth had a photo mode, right? I think.
I think every game does these days. Yeah.
Yeah. And even in that, I wasn't doing it because I was just kind of more looking around, just being like in awe as I was playing the game. But in this one, for some reason, I just see something. Like there was it was nighttime, and I was in an area where there was these white trees, and all like the petals are falling down. It just looked freaking beautiful. But like there was like a purple-ish like streak in the night sky, and I just like. And there was these two white trees to my left and right. So I was like, well, that frames the shot. I'm going to stand right here and like, just like make this sick ass photo. And it just like, it's just painter-esque. Like this game is
the
just
audacity
really,
of this game to look like it does whenever you like stumble across like a place to play like your your little guitar thing and Shymason or whatever it's called. Anyway, like it just like you'll be in a moment where like a cutscene will end, or maybe in the cutscene, like you're just like in this backdrop and you're like, oh man, they knew we were going to be standing here for like a big moment or whatever. And like when the scene just kind of ends, you're just kind of left there with like everything in front of you. And so those moments of, and even though like moments like you're probably talking about, you just kind of stumble upon it and kind of look around, you just realize you're in a postcard moment. Organically, you know, it's really something. This game is outrageously beautiful. Just
by the way, I love that moment too. We just saw that in a little video here where you lose your health, you fall down, you're about to get stabbed, and then Wolfie comes in to give you kind of that extra bonus.
And you can buff that up. That's something you can buff up through the wolf tree.
I'm glad. Okay, good. I love that because when I kind of fired it back up with a controller that actually worked, I was like, sweet, let's do this. And I killed a couple enemies pretty easily. And then I got to my first, like, okay, these enemies aren't really holding back. There's like 5 of them. It's a little more challenging. I hit that moment where I was like, do I stink at this game? Like, do I need to, like, I was getting hit a lot, you know, I couldn't time the parrying quite right. Wolfie saved me, and then all of a sudden I kind of, as my sons would put it, I locked in, and I was able to have a little more success. But yeah, that was a cool moment, too, where I had forgotten that the wolf was even in the game, to be honest with you, because it had been several days since I had played. But I love that piece of it. I'm glad you can upgrade so many different things, including your companion there. And do we know roughly how long this game is to beat? Like, what are the
I mean,
averages? What are
I'm
people saying?
30 hours in and just under half percentage is what, like, PS5, whenever you're on the home menu,
Oh
I'm at
wow.
45% or whatever. So, and I've explored everything in the first area. So I 50 to 60 hours wouldn't surprise me. Maybe it's 40 because I've done all the exploring. I got it out of the way, and it's just maybe kind of story
Yeah.
and a little exploring for the areas that the stories take place in. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't really looked
Okay.
up on how long to beat, but it wouldn't be surprised me. It's 40 to 60, depending on how much you engage with the side content.
Yeah. So this is
Yeah, it's
absolutely
saying
gonna, for a lot of people, this is going to be their holiday season game where they can
Yeah,
just play this and there's plenty to do and explore.
they said it was about
Yeah.
the same length as Tsushima, and I think that
And
that's
that
yeah,
was
this
probably
is
PC
saying
game.
25 to 30 for main story with standard
Yeah.
playthrough, averaging 35 to 40 hours when including some side content. So
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
and
So
then
maybe I'm
platinum
only
trophy
10
run
hours
60
away from.
65.
Oh, okay. Well, I am doing quite a bit. The only thing is I'm not really doing is like the collectible stuff because I don't do that in any game
Yeah.
ever. So it's just too much.
Yeah.
But all the
It's
actual
beneath
side
you.
stuff for sure. It's not beneath me. I get it. I'm just I'm a man of many games. I'm like literally playing like 17 huge games right now. I don't know, that's not the right number, but yeah, like we have tactics
probably
and all
though.
sorts of Trails in the Sky.
No,
We
but
got
that's
too
what I'm
many
going to
like
do
big
for this
games on my
episode.
plate.
I'm going to fill in the blanks for you guys and make it sound like you
I love
said
it.
something that you didn't
I
say.
think that's
That is
good.
mean.
I
That's
don't know
mean.
what I'm saying
Um
half the time, so I need an arbiter to kind of iron it
Yeah,
all out.
yeah. Your anger translator.
I want to
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to just mention though, because I know like I lost the audio and you guys were talking about I think maybe like the
Oh,
beginning of the game. I
Mm.
yeah.
because I wanted to mention Tsushima because obviously I haven't played Tsushima, in a bit. Like even with the
In a
DLC that
while.
came
Yeah.
out, like I mean that was how many years ago? Um,
5.
but
Yeah.
I was trying to think of like the opening in Tsushima is like a big battle, right? Like that
It's a
dude and
big
his
battle.
soldiers like
Mm,
show
Mhm.
up
yeah.
on Tsushima Island. So
Stomps you.
it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
stomps you and your people.
yeah.
Yep.
But it's like it's a really it's quite different because in that one it's like just this big like battle thing that kind of like opens up where in this it's a very like personal moment.
Hmm.
So it's like two very like different um
Yeah.
openings, but also the flows are different because I don't remember if Tsushima's opening was also like as quick and breezy as this one is. Like it was
No, it
almost
was
like a little
longer.
jarring,
No.
not in a bad way, but like a little bit like kind of like, oh, okay, so like we're just in the game now. All right. Like we're
It
Yeah.
getting
did
okay,
fast
cool.
forward a little bit. The
When
the
you
story
start
part was a
Yeah.
little bit like, okay,
Yeah,
keep
and you
going.
start with momentum in Yotei, where like she wins her first
Yeah,
battle
yeah.
that you see, and it's like, yeah,
Right.
she kind of
Yeah.
gets her butt kicked a bit, but like, it's like Jin like loses and like gets thrown off a bridge,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
Right.
and like but it helps that story cement it, like where like I have to get stronger to fight this guy, whereas like. In
Yeah.
Yotei, Atsu is like, I'm on a mission and I'm driven and I got that guy and I got 5 to go. I like that. I like that there is a difference between because they
Well,
aren't
yeah,
the same
because
story.
she's gone through essentially like the training, so to speak, right? Because she was a kid
Yeah.
when all of that happened, and then fast forward X amount of years later, she's like, all right, well now I'm back with the skills to like
Yeah.
avenge. So
And
I
like
just
someone
I
pinned
thought
me to
the
go ahead.
no, I was saying I just thought that the difference was interesting because they could have just done the
Yeah.
same thing, but they just did something different, and it just feels more personal the way this opens up
Right.
versus
Yeah, I agree.
I'd
Tsushima,
be
which
pretty
I mean
upset
it
if
is
someone
personal, but
right. And I'd be pretty upset if someone pinned me to a tree with a burning tree with a sword. So, like I
yeah,
get it.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
get off that tree and
yeah.
everybody that I know is dead. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. So
No,
I think her
I
like
just
anger is
watched my
justified because
family
I
get
think
killed.
anger
Yeah.
as a storyline can be kind of one note sometimes, where it's just like I don't like this guy and I'm gonna kill him. And I feel like there's
hmm
a little more going on than that. And I think as the story like unfolds a little more, you get like new pieces of like what actually happened in her past, and a lot of flashbacks and good stuff, a lot of story reveals that
you
like
can even
never
visit
deviates
the
from.
past.
Yeah, yeah, and these things never deviate from kind of just the revenge story, but like I don't know, it just kind of makes it just a little more layered than just I don't like guy, I'm gonna kill guy. So
Right.
I like
Yeah.
that part of it. Again, like just every area having its own like oppressor and the way that they oppress
Yeah.
their people and the way that they utilize like their weapons, and there's just something cool there that adds a little to that world building that I'm always looking for.
Yeah,
hmm
I agree. I agree. And yeah, not all of them have to be some huge political rebellion against the evil empire where it doesn't always have to be that. Sometimes the personal, and maybe it grows into something like that more. That's fine if it does. I'm just saying it doesn't have to start that way where you're like, I don't know, where you're fighting this huge, overwhelming
Army.
odds as part of the
Yeah.
rebellion or
Yeah.
whatever. And so
And
like
she's not
Huge
interested
I
in
like
that.
the
Her
smaller,
her character's
yeah,
not interested in that. Like, you even like
yeah,
run into
smaller
like a
stakes, but very
samurai.
personal stakes.
You even run into like a samurai group, the Masume, who are like there on behalf
Yeah.
of kind of like
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
everything in order. And like she's like, I don't want anything to do with you guys. And she like doesn't really
Yeah,
like samurai,
don't
thinks
care.
they're kind of stuck up, and like, I don't, you
I
and your
mean,
honor, and I
the
feel like
people of the island
she
don't really even want them there. So
no,
like
no
they
one
are
really
actually
wants them
like,
there. But like the story never
yeah.
stops to tell this like political story. Like she's not interested in that. So it's like anytime like it might start getting that way, she's like, I don't care about any of this. I'm trying to kill 5 more dudes, So, and I like that. I like that she is so driven. She doesn't get deviated or sidetracked by like, I don't know, the politics of the land. Like she is on
Yeah.
a mission and like doesn't waver.
Yep. Agreed. I will say, and you mentioned this game earlier, I do think that's what sets it apart from Assassin's Creed Shadows. There are plenty of parallels to draw between these two, where you have specifically, you can even say with like one of the leads of Shadows is a female whose kind of personal life is upended by these villains, and she's trying to track them down one by one. A lot of similarities there, but
And they wear
that one does
masks.
have a through. Yeah, and they wear masks and they have different names, and you got to discover secrets about them to find where they are and go fight them. Yes,
Yeah.
so a lot of parallels. But then there's also this through line that really drives her whole story of there's something that her dad was part of that she's uncovering, and then over time it becomes less about revenge and more about kind of becoming part of her dad's legacy that he was working towards something, which it is nice to see it go a little bit beyond just the I'm going to kill them because they hurt my people. So I'm curious to see if this one has any of that kind of growth, or if it's just going to let you do the thing that most of us probably would want to do, and that is just take out your anger and your loss and grief on the bad guys, start to finish, and then it's done. I'll be curious to see. There's not a right or wrong way to tell the story. I'm just curious to see what they decide to do.
She seems very confident as a character in like what her mission is, whereas Jin wavered, like, oh, do I need to be a samurai, or is it honorable to like break away from this like life that I knew to like stab people in the back in the shadows, and like Atsu doesn't have any of that baggage, you know what I mean? And maybe that makes her a
She
less
even says at
complex
the beginning, like,
character,
I'm
but
gonna kill them and then I'm gonna join you. Like that's what she says to her family at the beginning.
She's on a suicide mission, It's a one-way trip, and she doesn't waver, and I like that. Maybe that makes her a little less complex. But I don't know. It actually makes for me, it just makes her a little more confident as a character. She's not going through this like journey of growth, and maybe she does grow. I think as you start creating these relationships with these characters that you meet throughout the game, you're kind of seeing a softer side of her. But like, I don't know, she doesn't have this hang up about like shedding her old life to like stick to some honor system or anything like that. In fact, she makes fun of people who have honor systems. So I like that. I think that's much. Couldn't be more different than Jin in every way.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you're bringing that up though, because I actually thought of that and then I just kind of forgot about it. And I'm glad that you're saying it because it reminded me. Sucker Punch, their previous games, what was it about? It was about either being good or being bad. Infamous, you literally chose a path, and you would have power specific to that, story moments specific to that, and that's kind of like a little bit what they had in Tsushima. It was him kind of the darkness of like being a ninja versus a samurai sort of thing. And in this, they're not actually doing that. So it's actually been quite a while that they're just like, this is what the character is like, and that's that. Period. End of story. So it's actually interesting that they kind of have deviated from that thing that they're known for. So
no, I felt a compulsion usually in Tsushima where I'm gonna sneak. I think this is like something that Jin would do for this or whatever. And in this, I just don't feel that way ever. I don't think I've ever used stealth once in this game, unless the game was like, hey, you need to be quiet right here. I just walk up to people and just start slicing or stand off with them, and I just think that that's a little more her character. Like I think that's she's such a vengeful spirit, just like wandering through this world, and I think that facing things head on seems a little more applicable for her. And everyone like is going to play a little different. Maybe they like the stealth and they want to use the stealth because the mechanics are good, but like character wise, I just don't feel like her character leans on that as much, like Jin did, where he was kind of becoming more ninja than samurai.
Yeah, I did a lot of stealthing in the first game for sure. I'm not sure which direction I'll go with this one yet. We'll see. Haven't. Oh, I
The
will say
stealth
this
thing
about
is
the combat, which we didn't even mention, was the ability to quickly pick up weapons that are dropped and then just throw them, which I
so
think
good.
is a
oh,
great
dude,
addition. It's such a
so
cool
fun.
feeling. It adds some dynamics. Like, oh, they dropped
The
their
slow
sword, they dropped
motion
their
that kicks
spear.
in, you know, when it happens.
Yeah,
Ugh, so
very
good.
cool. Very cool. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Dan?
Specifically the spears. Like you can throw the swords too, but like there's something about just a long ass spear and hurling it across, like,
Their
and
bodies
just like
crumpling
seeing
over
it
it.
impale a dude. Yeah, yeah.
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 No, I was gonna say the stealth is like not anything complicated, but like she's like
It's
really
generous.
aggressive, but like fast. She's like fast when
Mm.
she just like freaking slices their throat, and it's just very like
the
it's
animations
just
are
very
great.
quick. I don't remember how it was.
The stealth
with,
is very
Tsushima,
generous in a way that I
but,
like stealth being, like Shadow of Mordor, like
yeah,
that kind of
yeah, yeah.
generous, where you're like, they're kind of right there, but like you can kind of walk up to them from an angle and they don't really see you.
Yeah, because
And
there's
I like
usually
that. That's
tall
okay.
grass around. You know.
Yeah, there's a
Like,
lot of
it's
ways to like stay out of people's
plentiful.
way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah, the animations and the combat, as you guys saw with some of the video we were showing, if you were watching the video version, animations are amazing. Some of the kill animations are really impressive. Even just the basic fight stuff, from the parrying to the attacks. I mean, they've come a long way, even in the last 5 years, with how the combat looks and how smooth everything is.
Yeah.
No, there is no lock on, but the game already auto locks on. I've only had one or two things where I'm like, oh, I wish the camera kind of helped me out here a bit. When there's more, once you get more than like 3 enemies, it can feel overwhelming. So you kind of want to get your back to an open space so you can back up as you fight if you're able to. Um, but I haven't found that to be. The first game was the same way. I was like, oh, I wish there was lock on, but as I played it, I was like, yeah, it's fine. It already kind of locks onto the nearest enemy for you. You're not going to be swinging like an idiot into midair very often. It usually is going to, when you hit attack, it's going to swing towards the closest enemy for the most part, or the direction that
Right.
you're pushing. You can kind of push the left stick in the direction you want to attack.
Right.
So it's pretty smart. I don't think it's a drawback to not have lock on, but it is an adjustment you'll have to make if you're used to locking onto enemies all the time.
Yeah, if it was a deal breaker for you in the first game, I don't think much has changed here. But I agree that both games, like if you just spend time with it, I feel like you get used to it pretty quickly. I find
It's
it
an
pretty
adjustment, but
intuitive,
it's not
but
bad.
it is an adjustment. I agree.
I think there is something in the accessibility options that does let you target, though. I swear I saw something in there.
Okay, maybe that might be
sure.
a change for this one. Okay,
maybe. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but it's like
we
something
won't look
you
it up.
have
We
to
can't
pick,
find out
so.
for you.
There's no way to
but there
know.
might be.
Actually,
No.
No,
We can't know.
No. I actually just imagined the whole thing. So
yeah,
Yeah.
which is fine. One last thing I'll mention too before we move on to the next game. I know we spent a lot of time on this one, but it's fine because it's one of our most anticipated as a podcast crew, and one of the ones I think when we get to end of year, it doesn't matter where it lands on any kind of ranking list. Like we all already really love it, and it's gonna be something we look back on fondly for a long time. So there's no doubt about any of that. So that's why we spend time talking about it. But the music, guys, the music is so good.
It's incredible.
And it's not like I doubted it would be any good. It's not like I expected anything less. But there's already been multiple moments, whether it's the instrument you're playing, the song you play with your mom in the flashback towards the beginning, that kind of resurfaces in different arrangements. The swelling music as you're on horseback sprinting across these fields, trying to stay in the white flower paths to go faster. The combat music, like so far, I'm just like, man, here we go again. Another amazing soundtrack.
It's got an Ocarina of Time style method of it too. When you learn a new song, you'll play the song and it plays back on just like your instrument, but then the full orchestra like blows in, just like Ocarina of Time. And it's my favorite thing in the entire world because she's just there playing her thing, but like all of a sudden all these other instruments come in, and it's great. I love all the songs.
I remember that. Playing that Ocarina of Time, you would play like 3 notes, like da-na-na, da-na-na, and then all of a sudden it swells to this beautiful thing.
Yeah. Super cool. And I love playing that shamisen, walking up to like bad guy hideouts because it kind of confuses them. They're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm walking up to them, and then I'll just like switch to my sword and start murdering them.
That's awesome. I didn't know you could do that. That's so cool.
I've been enjoying that. Yeah, you can play.
That's a real power move. That's a real power move.
I know,
hey,
right?
As my kids would say, that's aura. That's aura right there.
My Atsu has a lot of aura for sure. Yeah, and I like that you just have one weapon. Like it's just like when you get a spear, that's the spear you have, but you can get like paint jobs on it. When you're using your family sword the entire game, you're using the master. I'm sorry, the weapon from the master the Kurosaga. When you get
I'm
that
so
like
glad to
sickle
hear
and
that, because
chain.
when they showed that sword at the beginning, I was like, please don't. That's the coolest sword ever. I don't want a different sword. That sword is
Yeah,
amazing. So yeah, I'm
it's
glad to
hard
hear
for me
that.
to like not have like the family sword because it's
Yeah,
it's just all about them. I
that's what it's
gotta.
Of
about.
course.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just like all that stuff, and there's a cool rock paper scissor mechanic to all the weapons, not unlike the first game, which had more like stances. There's no
Uh-huh.
stances in this game anymore. Now it's just like it's pole arm,
Mm.
it's or spear rather, it's the sickle and chain, sword and
Yeah.
bow and yada yada. But like everything kind of has like a counter. Like you want this thing out to fight this thing. You
Oh,
want to make
nice.
sure that
Okay.
you have double swords out when you're fighting guys with spears and yada yada. So there is this cool like you're gonna be using all the weapons, like you could probably get by with just using your katana the entire time, but the game is just not designed that way. It wants you to switch
That's
around
Yeah.
fair.
and do all that stuff.
That's
So
fair. Okay. By the way, having played so much Assassin's Creed Shadows, I think I played that game for like 80 hours. I love that game. I really do. I know it got like 8 from a lot of people. For me, it's closer to a 9 out of 10. Like it's so good. But
hmm
this almost feels like this was the missing middle character. So you had Naue, who was super lightweight, very fragile, could do good damage, but was best when from a distance, stealth, catching them off guard, using her tricks. She could still do some good
Mhm.
damage one on one, but could get overwhelmed quickly. And then you got Yasuke, who couldn't stealth for his life. Like if you jump into like one of those hay bales, it just destroys it.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
sure.
Like it was hilarious. Yeah. So and he was very much run through the door, hit him with a gigantic club. This feels more like that in the middle, where she's got a decent amount of strength, a decent amount of stealth and agility. You can take him one on one. You can still use the trick, so it's a little bit of both worlds mixed together. So I do like that,
Yeah.
because I've really enjoyed Shadows so much. So to me, it doesn't feel like one or the other. It feels like these games are kind of complementing each other in a lot of ways. So
they are,
that's just me,
yeah.
though.
I agree with that completely.
I do like the flow of this one better just because so the like Shadows was pretty. Like it was not a slouch in the visual department considering the
Oh yeah,
size of the game,
Yeah.
gorgeous game.
But what I found with Shadows that kind of I guess not frustrated me. It was kind of like, oh, that's a little bit of a bummer. Is there were areas that you'd go to that was very like you walk on this path, like that's what you do. If you're going over there, you got to walk down this path. You could cut through the trees, but you would literally see Naue or Yasuke like clipping into all the trees because you're
Oh
not
yeah,
really supposed to be running through all these side areas where all the trees are. In this game it's structured in a more open manner, so you're just galloping through and you find the path of the white flowers, so then you start galloping faster, which I don't know if we mentioned that. That's pretty cool too. Just a
that's
nice little
awesome.
boost. Yeah, I like the more like kind of like openness of this, but also still
That's
has
totally
secrets
fair.
sprinkled around.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Two
I hear
different
you.
styles.
That's probably my point, is that it's two different styles. I'd also, me being a
Yeah.
big person of immersion, like if I was going from one city to another as a person, I would take the road. So it's like
Sure,
I do
sure.
like that. I like that, but that's me. I'm always looking for a reason to like make the game more immersive and like
Hmm.
going from one place to another. Sometimes the trees are too thick and there's nothing over there. So it's like, why would you go
Yeah.
over there? So it is kind of realistic in that way. But if we're talking about preferences and it has to be a choice, I think I just like the flow of finding things out in the world of Yotei a little more than
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed, even
Yeah.
though I
Yeah.
think the Assassin's Creed feels fine, just kind of being like a game that you follow roads to your
Yeah.
destination for. Different, like you're saying, different. They're just different. They're going after different things.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, and it does kind of depend on what it is you want. I think so far with what you guys are saying, but also my brief experience with it, this does feel like the more personal slash immersive potentially experience when it comes to two excellent open world kind of samurai
Mhm.
era games. Um,
Yeah.
Shadows is much more sprawling. You have two characters to switch back and forth between. They play very differently from each other. Both games have great upgrades, great weapon things you
They
can
have the
do.
same weapons, exactly
Yeah,
the same weapons in every way.
the
I
same
even think
selection
I
of
think
weapons.
you
It's
get a
just
musket
yeah.
later in this game, so even that
There
as
you go.
a
There
tengu.
you go.
So yeah, like it is
Yeah,
it is very similar. There are a lot of crossovers.
yeah,
You can't ignore them,
yeah.
but they're not the same
And
ultimately.
there's
You know,
flashback elements to help tell the story of who you are and why you're doing what you're doing. But
that's
anyway, yeah, there's a lot of similarities
true.
here.
I didn't even put that there. That's funny.
Um, Yeah. Yep. But all right. So Ghost of Yotei, so far so good. And this controller, if I had the little like
Very
Italian
nice.
emoji, the tasty emoji. Yeah.
Yeah, tasty.
Yeah. I don't get a lot of specialty controllers. I'm a very bland boy when it comes to that kind of stuff. So for me to have one that is specially designed is nice. And I'm just looking forward to having one that's fully functional on the PS5 again. So I'm excited for that.
True.
I also bought an Amazon had one for relatively cheap, just one of the straight like it was a purple one, I think. So we now have a purple controller, and we've got the Ghost of Yotei controller. So hopefully those will last us for a little while.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's move along to our next game. I know you guys don't care about this, so we'll just fly right through this one. Final Fantasy Tactics, Ivalice Chronicles. I mean, do we need to talk about this one?
It's fine.
Look at it. That looks kind of stupid, right? I don't know.
Look at them all walking in place. What is this? Jazzercise? What is this? What are we doing?
Why are there squares on the ground? Like, don't tell me where to walk. I walk
Dan,
where I want to walk.
Dan. This looks tactical.
This looks like a tactical game. We don't like those here. We were just gonna move on.
Yeah. Give me Valkyrie.
I do like, by the way, this is the GameSpot review. I do like how they're showing you the pixelated version, and then it cuts into like the real smoothed out, like high res version, which is very cool. So you can kind of see
So for me, because this is I don't know, I've definitely, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned before, this is an unfortunate, shame on me, blind spot. Yeah. This is one of the big Final Fantasies that I had just still not gotten to and really fully dived into and played and beaten. So
this and Crystal Chronicles, which is everybody's favorite, is Crystal Chronicles.
Yes,
right?
Everyone talks about it.
Guys, get your GBAs out, plug them into your GameCube. Let's get going, guys. Come on.
What else are you gonna do with your friends? What else are you gonna do with your friends?
You have to have 3 other friends, or it's not really playable. So.
Nintend's been trying that for years. They're like, plug these two systems together. It's like just
it's like
get your friends that also were idiots and bought all these things, and get them all together to play this one thing. This bad Final Fantasy.
There's your friends right there. Just 4 friends.
So Tactics came out on the PS1 in 98.
7.
Does that sound right? 97. Okay.
Same year as 7. And same year as Final Fantasy.
It's been re-released a number of different times. Of course, on the PSP, you got the Lions. What was that one called? Something Lions.
War of the Lions. War of the Lions.
Yeah. It's been part of like compilation packages before, like bundled together with like Chrono Trigger. I think one time. I don't know. The Square's put it. It's re-released it a couple different ways, couple different times.
That was Final Fantasy. So that was 6. Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 6. Yeah.
Okay.
So this was only PS1 and PSP.
And PSP. Okay.
And then the
now it did get at least one sequel, but it was like Advanced Tactics, right? Wasn't that kind of?
I think so.
Yeah. A sequel.
So on the GBA, because this is funny. When I was exploring emulators and ROMs and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
With my first PC. I was like, oh, well, I can I can play these games that I just can't afford because I'm a kid and I don't have a job. So Final Fantasy Tactics Advance was actually the first one that I played, and I beat that one. Like, I played that all the way through because I loved it.
Isn't that the one that starts with like a snowball fight at the beginning, like at a school or something?
Yes.
Okay, I love that game.
Yeah.
That game, so fun.
Yeah, same.
Yes. And it's so colorful. Like, it's just really colorful and vibrant. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed that one. And you would think I would have found a way to go back and play this one, but I don't know why. I just did not do that. But I like the both of them have a very so Final Fantasy Tactics. There it is. Yeah, it's just so vibrant. It
looks great. Yeah, I think this game looks amazing.
Great pixel art. But this one has like a book sort of like style to it, like approach. Like literally, you end up in the Final Fantasy book. Like I think that's what the book is. It's called the Final Fantasy, and he goes into the book, and that's what the world is. And then like Final Fantasy Tactics PS1 is like almost like a play, right? Kind of has like a little bit of a play vibe to it. Yeah. So it's just interesting that they kind of have like this unique style to it, one being a play, one's like a book. So I think it's really cool. It adds a little bit of flavor to it, just something a little different than just being like, here, this is what this is. So
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Well, I know both of you had some time to play the Ivalice Chronicles, this remastered version of this, which I think has some new content too, by the way. But I know Dan, you never definitely didn't finish it. I can't remember if you ever played it. Kyle, did you ever play
Mhm.
it before, let alone
Yeah,
finish it back in
I
the day?
played the PSP version when it came out,
And you did you beat that
and the
game?
advanced
Like, so you've
version.
played this
I
all
don't
the way
think I
through
beat it,
before?
but dozens of hours into it though. I don't think I
So
ever
as you're
beat it
jumping into
though.
this, you're like, I remember this. Like you're
A
like, I
bit,
remember
yeah.
this game.
I got to be
Okay.
honest. I mean, that was still 10 years ago on the PSP. More than that, right? 15. Like, I mean, that was a
Yeah,
long time
yeah.
ago. I would think it was in high school when this game came out.
Early
So you're
2000s.
talking about like early, like you're talking 15 years dumber Kyle. So like, I would say that the story, if anything, in the writing, and I don't know if they changed any of it, to be honest, or updated it or anything like that, but it so stand out to me. Like when people talk about
Yeah.
like, oh, it's my favorite Final Fantasy story, I would always remember being like, yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like it's about kingdoms fighting each other or
Yeah.
whatever. And it's really good. Like even just out of the
Yeah.
gate, it's very, very, very good.
2007,
And
by the way, for the PSP one.
oh,
Almost
okay,
20 years
okay.
ago.
So I was out
It's
of high school
crazy.
by then, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But just a couple of years. But yeah, but still, like it's just it's hitting for me harder this time. I'm picking up
Yeah.
on everything. They have a cool feature where kind of like Final Fantasy 16 did, where there's like a lore timeline. So there's like little
Okay.
like glossary for words, but there's also like a timeline of all the things that happened so far or whatever. So if you're ever confused about something, you can go back and kind of look at everything, and it's just presented really well. If you ever need to catch up, so I just like that type of stuff, and I don't know, everything about the story and the writing is really hitting for me in a way that it never really did before.
I love that. I love
I
that. And of
think it's
course,
just
the
because I'm
tactics
older,
combat
maybe.
is some of the best. You know, there's a reason that it still holds up because it's just classic strategic tactical combat. And Dan, I know that's not your favorite genre, but how are you liking
Mm.
this diving into, obviously one of your favorite IPs of all time and a game that you've always kind of been like, man, I should go back and play this one. How's it going for
Yeah.
you especially with the gameplay side of things?
I think what I do love and why I wish I had played it back in the day, because one of my favorite things about the series, and having recently replayed the Pixel remasters, my favorite thing about Final Fantasy 3 and 5 is the job class system.
Classes,
And
yeah.
that's in both of these, in this and Tactics Advance. So I'm maybe an hour into the story because I've spent like 10 hours, if not more, literally just grinding JP so I can just start unlocking job. Like I've played more than 10 hours of this game, I'm pretty sure. And like I'm maybe an hour into the story because I'm just like,
That is so
I gotta
funny.
get this
You're
class.
just
I gotta do this.
yeah.
I'm just grinding
Yeah.
out, and the music is so fantastic. It's so good. And
Oh.
I like that it swaps in different songs, so it's not just literally always the same. I think that's cool too. But the one that I love is the one that's like fast. It has like a really fast rhythm to it. Like that's such a banger of a song.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's so fun. I love like seeing the silhouettes of like future job classes that you'll unlock. You don't know what they are yet until you
Yep.
start leveling up the ones that are available to you. And you're like, oh, that's really cool. Let me go do that one, and figuring out, the path that you want to take with the characters, but also which kind of reminds me a little bit of, I guess maybe Final Fantasy 9, where you like learn like an ability or like something and you keep it. So in this, like if I'm playing as a squire, which is just like base level whatever job, and then I go to start knight, so I switch over to the job knight, but I've leveled up, my squire. Like say I mastered it, I maxed it out. You can have that as a secondary like option, like
Second job
you
class,
basically
yeah, like a
equip
meld.
that. Yeah, second job class, exactly. Actually similar to Final Fantasy 11 and 14, you have the secondary
I was
job
waiting
class.
for my
Can
window to
you-
say that when playing 11 and 14, I
Yeah.
just I like it's so obviously inspired from this specific class system, not 3, even though there's some similarities there too. This was like
interesting.
this is like the like job system that inspired Final Fantasy going forward, that would use job systems
that's
where there's like
cool.
splicing jobs and stuff. So
I love
so
that.
that immediately felt right at home, especially because I probably haven't played
Yep.
this game since sinking hundreds of hours into 11 and 14. So I'm like, oh, I get this,
Yep.
man. Yeah, I understand all
Yeah.
this now. It's very cool.
You know,
And
if
it's
any of
so
you that are
satisfying.
watching or
So
listening to
satisfying.
this are seeing or hearing this, if you like Fire Emblem games, if you played the recent Unicorn Overlord or Tactics Ogre or any of those kind of games, like this is absolutely the game for you. If you enjoyed those kind of games, even
Yeah.
something simpler like Wargroove or Advance Wars, where it's this grid-based strategic system, you've got certain things that are strong against certain things. The idea of managing each of these characters with, as you saw with some of the menus, with gear, as Dan is talking about with the job system and equipping certain abilities, like dude, this has all of that, and on top of it, even more so than stuff like Advance Wars or Wargroove or whatever, it has a fantastic story with characters that are really interesting.
It's still
So
considered the
it's
best
got
in the
all those
genre in terms
pieces.
of its story. You know, like I think that
Yeah.
people mostly agree that this is like the
Don't write it
pinnacle of
off just because
storytelling.
it's a 97 original release.
Yeah.
Like it
Some of
there's a
the best
reason it's
JRPG stories ever came from the 90s. You know, we're still chasing a lot of those
Yeah.
dragons. You know,
Yeah.
Dan is
Yeah.
still chasing 7. You know, 1997. He played 7.
That's right.
And
It's
That's
that's the
right.
best story for like, you know, like we're all stuck in the 90s loving some story for sure.
That's right. Chrono Trigger's
I mean,
still my
and again-
favorite one.
Yeah, see, Chrono
and
Trigger's a great
Suikoden
example,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like again, I'm only like maybe an hour into the story, and also something they've added onto this remaster that they didn't have in the original is voice acting, and the voice acting is
Yes.
excellent.
It's so
They did
good.
it.
Oh my gosh.
They did
Voice
not phone
acting
it
is
in.
incredible.
They did not phone it in.
It's
Yeah.
not phoned in
Because
at
when they
all.
do
And
phone
like
it
the
in, it
writing
can kind
is
of ruin it, right? So I'm glad that it's good. I'm
well, and
glad
the
'cause
writing
it can
again,
ruin
I
it.
don't know
Yeah.
if they updated it a little
Yeah.
bit because like the writing could probably still seem dated even when you go back to Chrono Trigger and stuff like that. Like they're like, that's kind of corny dialogue or whatever. None of it
Yeah,
feels
yeah.
corny. Everyone's just selling it, you know, and
No.
it's old English. People
Again-
are talking in Scottish accents,
Yeah.
you know, because they're from the
That's
north
the
or
play
whatever.
element,
Like,
right? It feels
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
play, like
it does feel like a play.
with the way that
yeah.
they're speaking to you. Dude, screw this guy, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, this guy's not, dude. Our god sucks.
That guy.
Everyone knows. If you know, you know. He
Guy
sucks.
sucks. He sucks. But yeah, it's so intriguing out the gate because there's clearly, you know, like you said, there's wars going on, this group versus that group. But like,
yeah.
then even early on, it seems like maybe like a couple characters are doing some shenanigans. So it's like, you know, they're kind of already laying down the groundwork, planting the seeds. Yeah, it's just really cool. It's really well done. The voice acting is really great, so they did not phone that in. I'm really happy about that because I just want to. I've heard from people say that even just characters' names, it's like what the hell is this name? Like how do you say this? Like so
I
now
know
you
there
don't have
are
to
a
worry
lot of
about it
names that are being spoken out loud that I'm like, oh, I've been saying that
Yeah.
name wrong my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. There's so many. of those.
So that's a welcome addition. I definitely appreciate that for sure.
My only real qualms with this game are just stuff from it just kind of being a 30-year-old video game. So like you're looking at it now, like you're just kind of every map is like you're just on a square in a void, and like you know
Sure.
you could have done a little more in the background stuff like that. But I think they wanted to
Yeah.
maintain the sanctity of the original
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
And I think that's always a
Right.
choice whenever you're trying to do a remaster. Do I want to upgrade it to a point where it's totally modern,
Right.
or do I want to maintain its soul intact and stuff like that?
Like
And
even
there's some
this
drawbacks
right
to
here
it.
where it's just a solid blue sky background.
Yeah.
There's part of me that would be curious to see, hey, what if there was an Octopath Traveler style like
Yes,
depth of
yeah.
field, blurry out of
There
focus?
was like the whole
But then
rest
I'm
of the
like,
city is just a stagnant
is that what I want?
graphic
I don't
back
know
there.
if I want that.
I don't
but,
know.
like,
Yeah, like, it does
Yeah.
make it dated, but I don't know if it's really a criticism. Criticism wise, though, because it's so dated, the camera system is very bad still. So here's almost a good example where it's like you only see this side, and like there could be people back there we don't know it. You know, like you have to like kind of turn everything around. Whereas like Fire Emblem and newer games kind of use translucent objects. So there might just be like a tree somewhere that blocks almost the entire battlefield for the entire battle for a lot of different maps, and it's just like, yeah, you could, you know, I don't know how hard it is to go in and make something opaque, you know, but
it does give you the option though if you hit was it R2?
Yeah, you can press
where
the
you
top,
do a top down,
which is very
and then
helpful.
just kind of like scan around a little bit.
Yeah, and
so,
the changing the camera angles are like, you know, it's this side and then it overcorrects like there's just like 4 different views that you can have, like so it's not, you don't have complete control. But again, this game is 30 years old, and I feel like the people who are buying this game are the people who played this when it came out 30 years ago, or longtime fans of the franchise like Dan, or he grew up playing, you know, Advanced, you know, we all did. It's just, I don't know how much needs to be updated, because a piece of me goes, this is exactly how I remember it, and that's comforting, you know, bad cameras and
You're
all,
right.
you know. So.
You're right.
Well, that's the thing. I don't remember it the way that you do, because again, I had not really fully gotten into it. And like, this is giving me, even though it's not a game I fully played and beat, it's giving me a nostalgia that like
Sure.
Sure.
just
Yeah.
The
still
nostalgia
makes
that we're
sense.
feeling, yeah.
Yeah, because like this was the generation of me falling in love with the series and just RPGs in general. Like, you know, Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. Those were like the first 3 big RPGs that I played in my life. So
Mhm.
this was just an unfortunate, you know, miss that I just didn't get to. But it's still giving me that like when I booted it up, I felt like I was like literally a kid. I just had a big dumb kid smile on
Yeah.
my face, and the music kicked in because like I know the music obviously pretty well, so like I recognize certain beats and so on and so forth, and I felt like a kid even though it wasn't a game that I really got to explore. So
That's beautiful.
I'm glad that they kept it
Yeah.
pretty intact and just kind of like smoothed out the edges and added some voice acting and
I think I would prefer voice acting more than translucent objects
yeah
to make them applicable. You know
yeah
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I
That's
think they
fair.
put the money and the budget in the right places for this.
Yeah.
So more observations than they are criticisms from me for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Well, we got 2 bangers so far. Let's see how we do on this next one, guys. This came out just this past week. And because it is multiplayer focused, the single player is not getting necessarily the best rave reviews, the campaign, but the multiplayer for
Sure.
Battlefield 6, generally speaking, has a lot of positivity around it. This game is averaging in the mid
Oh, that's
8s
good.
for a review, which I did not expect it to get that high. I know there was positivity coming out of like the beta and stuff like that, but we were definitely seeing a lot of positivity in reviews, whether it's from players or from outlets like this one with Gaming Bolt. That last review we saw was from GameSpot, by the way, and this is Gaming Bolt. And so, um, not that the campaign doesn't sound like it sounds like it's epic and it's got cool moments, but generally speaking, they're saying it's kind of by the book. And if you've played a
Yeah.
FPS war campaign before, that's what you're gonna get. So I don't think that it's bad, and I would absolutely love to give it a try at some point when I have that itch for a game like this, which sometimes I do get. I wouldn't mind playing the campaign. I played the Battlefield 1 campaign and Battlefield 5. Was it 5? I can't remember, but I remember I played a few of the more recent ones and thought they were fun enough. They were fine. So, but anyway, Battlefield 6 is out. I know that Kyle, you had played some of the beta, correct? And I think you
Mhm.
were planning on getting this game. Did you get this one?
I am 20 hours into this game, Tim.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
And when it came out, just like what time is it right now? I think it just came out 32 hours ago, and 20 of those hours I have played online with this game.
Sure.
I
Sure.
took time off of work. I had a crew who was a diehard FPS, gamers or whatever that I've been trying to
Yeah.
get them from Call of Duty for years to come over and play the better franchise, which is absolutely Battlefield. Don't at me. And this is the first good one in a long time. I feel like this, I even though I like the last Battlefield, I kind of like all Battlefields. Like the last couple there've been shortcomings, and this is the highest rated one since like 2 or 4 or something like that. I don't know. That's cool to see, and everyone's having a good time and it's fun, and it's intense, it's amazing, the sound's crazy, it's just chaos. It's the most chaos on a Battlefield I feel like any game has ever captured ever. Like it's just awesome. But there's just not a lot to talk about. I could sit here and talk about like my kill death ratio and how many wins I've had, but like it doesn't really make for a good conversation. I just know I'm out there playing it. It's a really good time. It's very functional, no server problems. When the game launched for the first hour, there was like a 5 to 20 minute queue. By the time I was playing it, that was gone, and I had no problems getting in since then. No drop games. This is launch weekend, guys, for an online only game. Like this never happens, and we're not talking about it in the way that we should
I think that's
be.
why we're seeing
is
so
a
much positivity
beautiful
around the
launch.
multiplayer side of it, right? There's a lot of
Yeah,
positivity
yeah.
around it that I'm seeing.
And I dipped in to play the campaign for a second. It is like you're gonna be like, yeah, I played this mission on Call of Duty, and it kind of looked and felt a little better there, because like they really put a lot of money and graphics like into those campaigns, whereas this is like the campaigns in Battlefield are kind of like a secondary afterthought, so
right.
like
they are.
It's going to be running in the multiplayer engine. It's going to kind of look like so like when you're playing a single player game, it kind of looks at the multiplayer. You're going to be like, well, it doesn't look as good as Call of Duty. Yeah, it doesn't, because Call of Duty kind of runs things in its own kind of single player engine. Yeah. It's not it's not having to use a lot of those shortcomings and stuff like that. So
Interesting. Okay.
when you're looking at character models, like character models just look better in Call of Duty. They just render better there, where it's rendering in the regular multiplayer kind of graphics here. And it's fine. Will I play it? Probably, because there's like things to unlock in the multiplayer by playing the single player, which that's the best way to do single player if you're asking me. Like
Oh, yeah.
add some incentives there,
Is there
some
co-op?
skins. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But there is there is a real story with you got a character who's talking, and like there's real
Yeah,
stuff going on. I don't really know if it's a good story, but it's
yeah.
there if that's what you want. And I'll play through it, But yeah, there's not much to say here. It's really solid. It's really good. I'm having a great time. It's just good to
Good.
like Battlefield without being like, well, but actually, I know this is bad, but I like it. I feels good to like be unshackled by like a
Yeah,
guilty pleasure. So yeah, and it's up to
totally.
775,000 concurrent players on Steam.
Just on
Like
Steam. Dang.
making it the third or fourth most played game ever on Steam, like behind stuff like
Which is
Dota and
because
Counter
think about
Strike.
how many more play this on PlayStation and Xbox. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
I would
that's
say
incredible.
the majority of
I know.
people play on consoles. If I had to take a guess, I could be wrong
So
about that. I don't
that's
know.
to me that's encouraging because I'm hoping that means that it's a success and that it keeps driving even more competition for Call of Duty. 'Cause I feel like Call of Duty's been at their best when they've had competition. We talk
Same.
about that all the
Yeah.
time with some companies too, but um so yeah, I like hearing that. I've been very positive about the Call of Duty last couple of Call of Duty games, both campaigns and multiplayer. I spent a lot of time on Black Ops 6 multiplayer last year. I actually have recently thought, do I want to play that again? Nah, I'll just wait for 7. But um so I really do like when I get that into that mode, and I'm sure you're the same way. It's like, man, I just want to play some online shooties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm glad to hear that there is something else out there. Because if it's only Call of Duty, just like it's only been Madden for so many years for NFL football, it's like, what motivation do they have to innovate and improve other
Yeah.
than just slightly better graphics? So
And it's cool because they
I'm
are
really glad
different
to.
tempo games. So it's like if you're a first-person shooter guy and you're like, I don't know if I want Call of Duty, I want Battlefield, you can get both. They're different enough. Like when you're playing them and
Yeah,
interacting with them, where just the tempo of the gameplay is just different in every way. One's more
yeah,
twitchy and fast, and one's a little more strategic and realistic. Realistic and heavy quotations, should I say?
sure,
So
of
I don't know.
course.
I like that they kind of occupy different kind of tempos.
Look at all the stuff to unlock. I mean, you'll get so many
Yeah, it's
dopamine
insane.
hits from playing this
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
It's cool, and the little
yeah.
attachments for everything. It's cool, man. This game is just great. I'm really enjoying it. And there's not a freaking loot box in sight, guys. Not one
Hey,
microtransaction. Nothing.
What?
It's
thanks, EA.
insane.
You guys are the
Yeah, I mean,
best. I can't wait to see what you do in the future
I think you can
with
buy
all
like
of your new owners.
battle passes and stuff like that, obviously.
Oh
So
yeah.
if you want to count that as, I think if you want to count that as a microtransaction, then I can rescind my previous remark. But yes, all games of this nature have battle passes now, and you can choose not to engage with it if you don't want
Sure,
to.
but it's not the
Uh,
same as buying a loot box that's like random.
no,
The
you
the
are working
Yeah,
towards thought out, chosen unlocks across like a board, and
I do
it's
think, side tangent here. I do wonder sometimes if that's why games like Fortnite have been able to thrive so much on that model because yes, they charge you for all the new. They bring in all kinds of new licenses and IPs. They just launched a K-pop Demon Hunter stuff in Fortnite too. I saw, but it's like you're paying for the thing you want because they have so many.
mhm,
Like that's what you want, then just go buy that thing. You're not
yeah,
paying for a loot box and hoping you get a good thing.
yeah. Looking at you,
To
Genshin
me, that
Impact.
dude, and Rocket League was that way for a long time too, where it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they would have
Yeah.
these chests you would open. You got to buy the keys to open the chests, and it's like,
Oh
well,
my
this could
god,
be
yeah.
pure garbage. The
yeah.
only guarantee is that it would be stuff you don't own yet. But I would it would sometimes be like a bunch of commons and then maybe like one uncommon. I'm like, okay, what? Why would I
It's
spend
that
money on
it's
this
that
again?
gambling element, the
Yeah,
tick in because
yeah.
people have actual gambling problems, so they
So I
they
think
know
that's
how to
why
get you.
That's
They know how
that's
to
what
get
they're
you.
prying
I'm not
on.
I'm not diametrically opposed to like, hey, we're adding extra content, and if you want to, if you want it, you can purchase it. If you like the
I'm not
Batmobile, you
either.
can buy
I
that
think
for
I'm for
Rocket
it.
League. I think I'm okay with that kind of stuff.
I am
It's when
too.
it's random and it's like you could get bad luck and your
Yeah.
money could be for nothing. That's when it's a
Well,
problem,
and
I think.
Yeah.
even I just kind of dunked on Genshin Impact, but even like if millions and millions and millions and millions of people go, this is okay. I'm like, and it's okay for them. Not for me. I don't have
I
to play it.
know.
I don't have to agree with
Right.
it. It's fine. But like a million people are playing. That's
Right.
great. That's for you guys. I would
Yeah.
prefer to know what I'm buying. Personally, I'm the kind of guy who walks up to a blackjack table. I lose one hand and I go, I'm done. I don't like watching like money just go wastefully, you know. So it's like I don't get those dopamine hits from like, oh my god, I got a cool thing. Maybe the only time I get that is like when I used to play collectible card games and you would pull a rare, and I'm like, oh, there it is, you know. Like maybe that felt good, but like I don't know, I don't get that feeling anywhere else. So
I agree.
that's just
I
me
agree.
though.
And EA has been very guilty of that over the years. Again, I mentioned Madden. That was a big place. Their whole Ultimate Team thing where you open up card packs,
Yeah.
which again has a excitement level to it, but then it's like, well, I didn't get any of the rares I was hoping for, so now just wasted money, you know. So there's a lot
Yeah.
of that for sure. But anyway, I'm glad that people are enjoying Battlefield 6. I'm glad that it seems to have delivered on a solid alternative to the annual Call of Duty release. So time will tell on how big of an
Hope it has
impact it has
legs.
on Call of
Yeah.
Duty, if any.
I hope it's not a reverse 2042 where it like starts really strong and fizzles out. Whereas 2042
Yeah.
started really weak and kind of got a little better as it went on. So I
Yeah.
hope they build on the momentum here because there's a lot of it.
I have a
There's
feeling
lot
it'll
of
maintain
momentum.
a strong core, but you're right. I wonder if like the masses will make a shift
Yeah.
over to the newer thing. But anyway, all right. Well, there's one more game I wanted to highlight that's new, and then we'll go through some kind of like a sizzle reel of some quick hits of new stuff. But this is one that actually my boys were just playing for the last hour or so while we've been chatting. It's a multiplayer centric game called Absolum. I think that's how you pronounce it. Absolum.
Yeah, pretty sure
And
that's right.
so it is a kind of it's a roguelike beat 'em up where you've got these 4 characters to choose from. This really cool art style that you're seeing here. If you liked stuff like Castle Crashers or even back in the day, you know, your Streets of Rage and Ninja Turtles, it's got that kind of feel on the stage, going up and down, back and forth, fighting enemies. But it also adds some really cool RPG and roguelike elements where you're upgrading, sometimes just for that run, sometimes permanently. You're unlocking some really cool things. There's some epic boss fights like you see here. This Under King, I remember fighting him. So really surprising game too, by the way, because I think we talked about it when we saw it preview, like, oh, this one looks kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
it was one that I just probably would have forgotten about, but it came out. It's getting stellar reviews. People are loving this game.
Except IGN,
so-
they're like,
Nice.
it's a 7. Everyone else is
Oh
giving
yeah,
it
I
8s
saw
and
that.
9s
Yeah.
8s and 9s everywhere else. So
classic-
you know, but
The classic
the classic.
IGN.
I
7,
don't
they
know
love
if
doing
anyone
that.
gives more 7s in the history of video game reviewing than
No.
that site. It's so crazy to me.
No, it's IG7 for sure. So yeah, they
IG7.
decided to. It's only a 7 out of 10. That's just fine. That's fine. But anyway, my son and I played this yesterday for a couple hours. He played it again today with his brother for a couple hours. Really, really fun. Each character has a very unique feel and move set, combos, specials that you can unlock. Really, really satisfying. Like it just feels right. You know, these games, these beat 'em ups, you kind of have to have the right feel. This one has that, I think. Really cool feel.
Mhm.
And in addition to that, it's got a very unique setting, almost this weird like Secret of Nim cartoon art style to like I don't know, some kind of old dark cartoon art style to it that I really like. Kind of comic booky at times. I don't know. I really like the art style of it too.
Same.
And yeah, it's super fun to play. But Kyle, I know you've been playing it too. What do you think
Mhm.
about it so far? I mainly used the dwarf. He was my dude. I picked the guy with the beard
Yeah.
because I'm biased, and so I liked that guy
I
a lot.
feel ya.
But all the characters are pretty fun. What do you think of this game so far?
I can't say no to a big sword person. So the main chick
Yeah.
with the big sword, like the other person that you have, which I think you unlock more people. I saw like a flying frog mage guy. Like there's other characters
there's
unlocked
4.
too.
There's 4.
I
There's a monk type character that's kind of a mannequin-esque, robot-esque thing called Cider,
mhm.
and that one's really cool. It does crazy combos. She's really good. And then you get the frog mage caster
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the roguelite always tends to like, you know, it's almost like here like Souls-like for me, where I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna be for me, and it takes a lot of convincing sometimes, unless you're a Hades or a Dead Cell or something like that, like the obvious, like you'd have to be an idiot, even if this is not your genre, like to like this stuff or to not like this stuff. But what got me in the door is that, and I don't know if it's the same team, but people who made Streets of Rage 4 made this game. I forget if it's the same team or not. If it was just people who came from that team to go to this team.
You can tell, right? The quality is
But yeah,
just, the
well,
feel is
even just in
there.
the way the feel of the combat and stuff like that, there's just like a perfect weightiness, not a combination of weightiness and floatiness. I don't really know, but just crisp animations, kind of brutally hard, you know. But instead of like just kind of dying and having to restart a level in Streets of Rage 4, there is that mechanic of you kind of feeling like you're getting stronger here. So next time you're facing that thing, like you're gonna stomp it or whatever. And I like that. I like it a lot, and I love beat 'em ups. I love beat 'em ups so much. It's like one of the very first genres in games that I fell in love with, and still love it to this day. So I like that this kind of feels like some kind of shift, like in that genre, by melding it with something like roguelites, which maybe has been done before, but I've never played one. And I really like Hades too. This is a little more my tempo. This is a little more my speed. So this might end up being kind of the one I'm spending a little more time with, because I kind of have a similar divvying out of like, powers where it's like, hey, you get a choice between two different things here. I guess that's kind of more just like a roguelike thing in general, but like I just kind of like the way that you're piecing together a build as you're moving through that try or attempt, but also kind of collecting some permanent stuff along the way. And I love that it's co-op.
Well,
like, get out of here. Like a roguelike co-op
Also-
game, like it's crazy to me.
the style, like you said, with Hades, like that beautiful hand-drawn aesthetic. And like that's what immediately grabs my attention with this. Is just like this. The characters are the designs are sick as hell. The backgrounds look great. Like it's just really sharp and looks fantastic.
Agreed. There's one element of this too that I want to highlight that I was trying to look to see. Let me see if I can find an example. The music in this game is
It's so good.
It's
it's kind of freaking amazing.
Okay.
It's amazing in Hades
excited.
as well. The fact that Hades and this came out within like 2 weeks of each other is kind of insane to me, because they both the Venn diagram, outside of just like one being isometric and one being a side scroller like beat 'em up, like everything else is very similar, I would say, in terms of like its presentation of cartoony graphics, amazing music, a hub area, permanent growth, yada yada. Like it's just a lot of stuff there that they share in common. I'm just, man, you're eating good if this is your genre.
Oh my word!
You're
Of
eating
course,
so good right now.
Of course, the soundtrack is Gareth Coker from.
Why
Ori.
wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be?
Of course, it's Gareth Coker. Like,
why wouldn't it be?
I was like,
wait,
why
what did
is
he
this-
do? What did he do?
why is
Because
this
that
song-
name's
that guy's
ringing a
busy
bell.
right now.
He did like he did the Ori games. He's done a lot of other stuff too. But
well,
Ori,
I mean, then okay.
Say no more.
Okay, yeah. Enough said.
he did
Enough
Ori.
said.
He did the Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, which is to me one of the
So
most
good.
underrated games and soundtracks. That soundtrack is unbelievable.
Soundtrack is amazing.
He's done other stuff too. He did like Mage Seeker, and he did the Ruined King, I think, the that League of Legends RPG. So he's done other games with great tunes.
Yeah.
But Ori is the one that really, I think he made his chops on that one. And let me see if I can play this here real quick. See if you guys can hear this.
Yeah.
Is that coming through?
It's coming through.
I'll turn it down a smidge. Hang on. Was that too loud before?
If anything, it could have been louder,
Okay.
because now we don't hear it at all.
Let me just fast forward a bit here. It's pretty quiet. I don't know which songs I'm looking for because I haven't. All I know is while I was playing, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Let me try one more real quick, and then we'll. I mean, it's hard to get a good feel for it, but it's really high quality.
I'm telling you, it's great. Yeah, I'm backing you up for sure.
Like stuff like this is great. This is while you're exploring the forest.
Yeah, this is this has like a Lord of the Rings-esque kind of like a little bit. Like I could something like that.
Yeah, and the other cool thing about it too is it like we were talking about the voice acting of Final Fantasy Tactics, this new one. The voice acting here is fantastic. So when you have good voice acting,
voice acting as
pretty
well,
clever writing, and then and the characters will talk, and little like comic booky text boxes will come up over their heads as you're exploring and talking. You can see here, right here on this pause screen I have, it looks like this a lot.
Okay.
And so you'll see enemies or characters, they'll talk. So it's all voice acted, and then I don't know, pretty decently written. So, yeah.
I love when somebody says something in a game, period, die.
One word threat, exclamation point.
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I can't recommend Absolum enough. It is $25
One of the surprises
full
of the year.
price.
It's on sale right now
places, I
too
think
on
it's-
Switch.
Yeah, it's like
$12
$21, $22 on sale right now. Totally worth it if you've got a couch co-op
Look at
partner.
the frog dude.
But yeah, the
dude
frog
rocks.
dude's awesome. But the I have heard it actually is pretty fun as a single player roguelike experience as well. So if you want to just
I'm
play it
only
single
playing it
player,
that way, but I will play with
yeah,
a buddy. I will make someone play this with me. So
I
I'm
think
gonna
it
play
works
this with
both
my
ways. I
wife.
really
I
do.
bought it.
So,
yeah,
did you?
this is
Okay.
definitely a you and wife game. This is gonna be perfect
Dude,
for y'all.
you guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna love it. So super fun. Absolum, can't recommend it enough. All right, let's go through some quick hits of other games that are out this week. Pause me if you have been playing it and want to highlight it. But these are mostly short trailers for these games. Little Nightmares 3 is out. It sounds like
yeah.
people aren't loving it, but that doesn't mean it's not good. I
Mm.
just don't think it's getting the adoration.
Different dev
that-
team did it, right? Supermassive or something did this, and which
Oh,
is
did they?
unlike the first two. Yeah,
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go. Good
apparently,
call.
apparently they had the secret. Apparently they had the secret sauce. The other dev team did.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it still looks very similar to the first two, but what do I know? I didn't really get into those games.
I didn't either. Yeah.
But the overall response to this seems to be relatively lukewarm. Again, not overall negative, just kind of like it's okay kind of reactions is what I'm seeing.
Okay.
So
I
but the
really
visuals
liked the
still look
first
amazing.
one.
I know Jeff really
and
liked the series. I think he was a big fan of the
Yeah.
series.
Second one I haven't gotten around to yet. But I really liked the first one. It was very creepy. Very, very
Tim
creepy.
Burton-y.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, has a lot of that going on. But it is out on everything. Little Nightmares 3, and I think they actually did a re-release of 1 and 2, or at least the
And
first
this is
one.
like co-op all the way through, isn't it? This one?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's co-op
Should
all the way
be,
through.
yeah.
Well, I don't know if the other ones are. Maybe that's a staple of the series, actually.
I think the second one
it's that time of
introduced
year.
co-op.
This is
Okay.
that spooky time of year where it's fun to play games like this anyway. So if this is your
Yeah.
jam and you've got a co-op partner, I would say it's probably worth a look. Even if reviews aren't saying it's going to be the next game of the year or anything, that doesn't mean it's not going to be fun for you and a friend to play through and experience some spookies together. So there you go. Little Nightmares 3 out now. Speaking of some co-op fun, Lego Party is out. Again, it looks very much like a Mario Party style
like Mario
game.
Party,
Looks like
yeah.
lots of, yeah, just with Legos. Lots of dumb mini games and crazy characters.
I
all the Lego
love
stuff
that you can dress up all your characters. That's so great. I love that.
Yeah. That's
Sign
pretty
me
fun.
up for that.
I bet-
Yeah, all those.
I bet you this is a fun party family game. I bet you it is.
Yeah.
I
Friends
wonder how
over
much
for
of you-
drinks
I'll have to look
or
into this.
family night. Mm-hmm.
I like these. I like party games. I remember playing like Chef's Love Shack on Nintendo 64 back in the day. South Park game.
Chef's Love
A bunch of,
Shack.
it was a
I will say
trivia
this too.
/
As I'm
minigame.
watching this little launch trailer here, I'm reminded of how much I love when Lego just has everything. I don't mind when it's
Yeah.
like focused on an IP like a Star Wars or an Indiana Jones or Harry Potter. I like that too. But this is like the Lego movie where it's all the Lego stuff thrown
it's
together
everything.
in this
Oh, yeah.
crazy chaotic mash. I like
Pirates
that.
and ninjas and knights.
Well, it's like just being a kid
Fine.
with like a toy box full of Legos
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just like mixing and matching the
That's
just
Skateboarding Ninja.
everything. Just nonsense. Exactly.
Yep. So there you go. 16
where else are you
mini
gonna get
games. You could play cross-play, it says, online multiplayer. So lots
I
of
like how
reasons
some
to
of
give
these
it
like
a
one-
look.
there's one game that kind of looked like that downhill like Yeti game where you're like skiing, and
Yeah,
one
it did.
game kind of looked like Excite Bike. Like it looked like there was some
Yeah.
like
Yeah, Excite Bike.
Lego
Yeah,
spins
yeah.
on. That was really cool. Yeah.
I might actually grab this for me and the kids.
I
This would
think
be a
I might
fun
do.
one.
Yeah, I don't. If it's reviewing decently, I'm legitimately probably gonna get this.
I think it is. Let me double check that real quick. Now, you guys played some Mario Party this year, right? The Jamboree one that re-released this summer.
Yeah.
Didn't you guys play a little
I
bit
did,
of that?
I played quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting 8s.
Lego-
It's sitting at an 8 on Metacritic and 80 on OpenCritic. IGN gave it an 8.
There you go.
They didn't give it a
There you
7,
go.
guys. This game is better than
Wow.
Absolum. You heard it here first.
Confirmed.
It's exactly how that works. Always.
All right, so we looked at a couple of fun multiplayer games, whether it's Battlefield 6 playing online, Absolum playing some roguelike beat 'em ups, Lego Party with the party games, Little Nightmares with the side-scrolling platforming creepiness. Well, this one we're gonna go a totally different direction. This one's called Dreams of Another. Have you guys heard of this game?
Oh, yeah. It's
I don't know. Maybe it'll look familiar when I
This
see
is the
it.
people who made like the
Pixel Junk?
Pixel Junk. Yeah,
I love
the
Pixel
Pixel.
Junk, yeah.
It's like the Pixel Junk shooter or Eden games or whatever those were.
Yep.
But
I remember them
this is
announcing this.
a
You
really
like shooting
unique-
things into existence?
I don't know, memories. You're shooting memories. I don't know, but they call it a third-person action adventure game. So like, there's an action element to it.
He's got
You
like a
are in your
gun.
jammies and you've got a gun.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. But this art style is fascinating to me. Like what they've decided to do with this is so cool looking. But
yeah, I don't know if
Weird
voxel is the
voxels.
word, but
Yeah, but it's not. It's
is it
not.
voxel?
But
Okay.
that's the. No, I would agree. I would say that's not. But like, it's the closest thing that came to mind was
Yeah,
voxel-esque. You know.
yeah, creepy but cool, very trippy. So there you go. Dreams of Another, which I believe PlayStation and Steam. is
Oh,
where
it's
you
a
can get
VR
that.
game as well. I bet that's wacky.
Oh, I bet you the VR version is nuts. That's a good point. Yeah. So that is out now. As is Disgaea 7 Complete is out now.
Oh.
If you want to give that one a look. I never got into these games. I think we've talked about them before.
I've
Yeah.
tried to play it a couple times, and I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care about.
They're
whatever
just
this is.
wacky.
They're just a little too
Almost too.
wacky.
It's almost too
yeah.
anime. It's almost too anime.
It is almost too anime, Dan. That's exactly what it is. Like
Hey,
I'm a big. We're the anime guys, and we're
listeners.
like, I don't know, man. Yeah.
Listeners, if Dan and
Yeah.
Kyle are saying it's too anime, you better stay away.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, there's I have a threshold, and this goes beyond
Yeah.
that. That's for sure.
This surpasses that.
I know
Yeah,
these games are
totally
like
fair.
so beloved in the tactical like
Yeah,
realm,
yeah.
though. It's one of those things that where you can
Yeah.
like purposefully game the system to do like billions and billions and billions of points of damage, and like it's meant to be
Yeah.
played that
Yeah.
way. I have a lot of respect for the series, but aesthetically, it makes me want to bang my head against the wall.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, then let's move on to the next one. I think the aesthetics in this game are pretty great. This is just a little overpriced for me at the moment, but Nintendo announced that they are re-releasing Galaxy 1 and 2 on the Switch with some upgraded visuals. It does look really crisp and clear. It's not going to look as good as, a brand new Mario game would look on the Switch 2 right now, but it does look very good from these videos that they've shown. And these games are unbelievably creative, and
Yeah.
I love both of them. They're both so good. But anyway, they're both out now. They are, I think, either 40 each or 70 for both, I think, is how
Yeah,
they're
that
listed.
sounds right.
That sounds
I think
about
it's
right.
thir-
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds.
Yeah, so I think it's $39.99 for if you want to just get one of them. And if you want both, it's like a kind of price, like a full price $70 game.
And they're very
both
similar.
on the
So if you
Switch.
want to skirt it, like just get two. Two's got like more stuff going on, but like if you're on a budget, and like if you're worried about the lore, go see a psychiatrist or something. Don't worry about the lore.
And by
in
the
a
way,
Mario game.
let's talk about
Don't do
music for a
that.
sec.
Oh,
See a
this Galaxy has my favorite Mario music, like hands down.
To Square Stars.
I mean, I know we're getting like the voiceover guy talking, but the music is so good in these games.
But the orchestra was
You can
going
kinda hear
ham
it.
on this one.
You can kind of hear it in the
Yoshi's showing
background
up
a
in
little
two
bit, but
rocks.
like, dude, there's the garden one. I think there's a couple of really famous pieces of music that came from this game, and it's unbelievable. So the music is great, the gameplay is fantastic. Yeah, you get a lot of cool abilities like Rock Mario and Bee Mario and all these fun little powers. So I can't recommend these games enough.
Spring
If
Mario?
you haven't, if you
This
haven't played
game-
them, or maybe if you don't have a current way to play them, this is the way to do it. Like without a doubt,
yeah.
it's worth it.
I love preserving video games. I'm always for it. This is great. I don't care if it's not in 4K. It's not really the point. But like, this is a great way to get your hands on these games. And I beat both of these games, Galaxy 1 and 2, while I was working at GameStop on the kiosk in store. If you don't,
That's
if you-
amazing.
hey guys, your GameStop employees are playing games when you're not in the store. I promise you. And I would run over and like get people to get off when they would like start it up and choose my like save file. I'd be like, no, we're not.
Like, hey, no.
No, yeah.
But
You
also,
need to
like,
exit out and
as someone who has shopped at GameStop a lot over the years, I'm okay with that. Like, I want those people to be gamers who are able to play when no one's there. Like, come on.
yeah,
Like,
you should.
let 'em
Yeah.
do it.
Those guys'
do
jobs
it.
suck. Let them play a game. It's fine.
That's right. All right, so that is available now on Switch, and then there's this cool little game that came out called Luctus, Luctus. Very cool art style for this side-scrolling action RPG.
Ooh.
It's saying that I would like it because I've played a lot of Hell Is Us, and I forget what the other one was, but
It looks exactly
Sure.
the same.
it looks
Yeah.
just like Hell Is Us.
Carbon copy.
Now it's got this really cool like 1632-bit vibe, but with really clean animation. I love the way that it looks. Lots of leveling up. I don't know. It just looks really neat. So I thought I'd highlight this one too. Look, this. I think it's only
Yeah,
on.
that looks cool.
Oh no, it's on Xbox too. There you go. Steam and Xbox.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
You can give that one a look. Where's the title screen? There we go. All right. So look, this is available. Going back to some re-releases though, we've got Yuka Replayly. I almost said that wrong, but Yuka Replayly. Got to give them credit. This remaster does actually look really good, in my opinion. Like I think the visuals actually do look really nice in this. And so if you're looking for a fun, lighthearted, kind of kid-friendly platformer, I don't see why you wouldn't give this one a look. I never really got into these games. I know what they were trying to do with them, but I never really gave them a chance, to be fair.
I tried playing it because I actually love Banjo-Kazooie. Like, I was obsessed with that game back in the day. And I don't know, it just didn't... It's literally the same people. It's just creators of Banjo-Kazooie. And it just doesn't... I don't know, it didn't have the same magic for some reason. Just something about it.
I think a lot of people agree with that,
off.
if I remember correctly.
I think that is the general consensus. That being said, now that it's been around for a minute, with this remaster, I do wonder if people were to give it a shot, if they'd feel differently about it. Like maybe it does have just that slightly better feel and look to it. But
we're kind of in an age where like these types of mascot games are kind of coming back too. I know it's not exactly a mascot game, but it's definitely of that ilk.
For sure.
Platformy, you know.
Yep. All right. Now for something totally different. This game is now in 1.0. I guess it's been out for a little while, but the full release is out now. It's called Mars First Logistics. So this game kind of has a look of this. There was a game where you rode around like on a
Sable,
little speeder,
right?
And
Wasn't it Sable?
Sable. Yes.
Sable,
it has that sort of visual style.
But
it is legitimately a physics-based, logistics-based game. You're building things almost Lego style, moving things around. I don't know if you're setting up automation or if you're doing it all yourself or it's both. I don't know, but I know there's a lot of exploring, a lot of physics-based like job doing that's happening here. So, to me, this looks interesting. I was kind of like, do I want this? I don't know if I want to play this or not, but it has incredible Steam user reviews.
Dude,
the Steam user reviews on this are really good. Yeah, I know. Look, people set up Rocket League. Here, it looks like. Yeah.
This actually does look cool. This looks cool.
Yeah, it's a cool game idea. And anyway, if you're at all into building, creating, whether it's something silly or something serious, it looks like you can create like this metropolis, building individual spaceships or vehicles or setting up a beach.
I think having it in this art style like also makes it stand out a little bit more, just because this art style is very cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It looks like it's ripped out of like a comic, you know.
Yep. It does. So yeah, Mars First Logistics is in full release now on Steam, and go give that one a look if that interests you. A couple other quick hits here as we roll on through. This one is out now called Buy Sweet Carol. You heard of this one?
Yeah, dude. No, I was in a stream the other day and somebody mentioned it, so the streamer like pulled up the trailer and I was like, dude, this looks rad as hell.
Yeah, so this art style, this kind of cartoon, kind of a scary old Disney hand-drawn cartoon art style.
Yeah, classic Disney. Yeah.
It's got a really cool look to it. It is out on everything, I believe. So you can get it on any platform that you're interested in. It is, I was going to look to see who made it here real quick. Little Sewing Machine. What else did they make? They're an indie company.
Doesn't sound familiar, but
I don't know.
But also like
they made a couple short films, it looks like, that they're working on or have worked on.
Oh, okay.
Which makes sense, right? It looks like a short film. So
right here, like literally like a Disney song like kicks in.
Yes.
Like it sounds like a Disney song. Like they're really like leaning into it, like not even just aesthetically, but like musically. But this looks cool because it looks creepy as hell. There you go.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're just like they're leaning so hard into like Disney, but you know, it's their thing. It's its own thing. So
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, there you go. Buy Sweet Carol, available now. And this was just a PlayStation ad, but I do believe it is on Xbox and Switch, in addition to PC and PS5. So there you go. Buy Sweet Carol. All right, one more 3D platformer called King of Meat. So this one is out now. Let me just fast forward here a little bit.
all right.
It looks bizarre and crazy and silly with, I think it's co-op, like 3D platforming. Crazy outfits, crazy weapons. Yeah, I think it's just meant to be like a crazy, wacky 3D platforming
Party game.
So, yeah, it has a crazy look to it. I mean, look at this. These look like insane levels. I don't know if you're building your own levels or what this is, or if it's like supposed to be like Super Meat
It's like
Boy where you die
American
a lot.
Gladiators or the Ninja whatever, but like a video game, and there's 4 people like doing stuff.
Right. Yeah, you can customize your contender. Our buddy Jeff would love that because he would make the craziest looking character ever and name it like Nom Nom or something. You know what I mean? So it'd be great. If this is what you're into, go give this one a look. It's called King of Meat. All right. And then last but not least, I added this one because I didn't know it existed. It's called Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny. I believe this is a Nickelodeon-themed ARPG. I don't know if maybe it's a super RPG like, but like an isometric action game, I think, where you're picking Nickelodeon characters. There we go. There's a little bit of the gameplay as they're introducing the characters here.
Oh,
here, I'll just turn on.
Dude, why did Leonardo look like that?
You got Jimmy Neutron. Yeah. There you go. There's a little more of what the gameplay looks like. Yeah.
Definitely something would be good for kids if they're super into Nickelodeon.
For sure. You got SpongeBob. You got Ninja Turtles. Fairly Odd Parents. Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there, but if they wanted to do a cartoon version of this from like Cartoon Network and have like Johnny Bravo and Dexter's Laboratory and Powerpuff Girl,
yeah.
A little more my era, you know, I would say. So
I'm super on board with that. Dude, Dexter's Laboratory, the Powerpuff Girls,
Samurai Jack,
Samurai Jack.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah, now we're getting into Adult Swim a little bit, but
I'm still in.
I would take an Adult Swim one too. You get Brack and Zorak, and we get all the get all the boys in.
Yeah. So there you go. That is kind of a quick look. Not really quick. It's been an hour and 40 minutes, but that is your look at new games that are out since we last chatted with all of you. And yeah, I'm always excited to take a look at what is new, what's available, especially as we get to this holiday season. It's getting colder outside. Not that I don't play games in the summer. I do play less, though. Like, my overall time spent in front of a screen is less when it's nice out, whether it's family trips or camping or kids in sports, whatever. But as the snow starts to fall, temperatures start to drop, I am much more, let me wear my sweatpants and my flannel and sit down and game for longer sessions. And so I'm always super interested to see what is coming out and being re-released around this time of year. So a lot of those look really intriguing to me. If I can ever pull myself away from stuff like Ghost of Yotei or, I gotta be honest, like No Man's Sky, stuff like that. But we'll talk about a few headlines that have happened since we last chatted. There was a lot, and I only highlighted a few because a lot of them, I don't know if they really warrant conversation. So I wanted to only bring up the ones that likely warrant conversation. And one of them will kind of bring up a video from Xbox and how they announced this. So we'll wrap up with that one just because hopefully it's funny, even though it's not necessarily good news. So, okay, let's just do 2 quick bad news headlines that are still worth discussing just because it impacts the industry that we all love and care about and follow and are meeting to talk about every week. And that is when there's any kind of layoffs or studio closures or, changes of plans that negatively affect things, we still want to know about it. And it's not just because we want to complain or whine or feel sad. It's just we like to know what's going on in our industry. Just like if you're a sports fan and your team loses, you want to find out about the coach getting fired or whatever. Same thing here. We want to find out what's going on with our industry that we really like. So the first one I'll highlight is this team that has created Hyperlight Drifter. It's a mega hit a couple years back. This team is called Heart Machine. Now, they're still, as far as I know, they still exist. They're not going away. But they are making layoffs as this is very confusing to me. This announcement is confusing to me. I can't tell if they're saying the game's almost at 1.0 and it's going to launch and then we're going to make layoffs, or if they're saying because of what's happening, we have to make layoffs and we're just done developing the game, which is kind of more what it sounds like. It's very strange.
Okay.
So Heart Machine in 2016, pretty big hit with Hyper Light Drifter. And then a couple years later, not as big of a hit, even though people liked it, called Solar Ash in 2021. And now they've got Hyper Light Breaker, which has been in early access since the beginning of this year. And here's what they've confirmed. Early access period is ending for Hyper Light Breaker after 9 months, with development on the game coming to an end. It's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Does that mean they're just done working on it? Or does that mean it's, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure what that means for them to say early access is over and development is ending. So is the game still going to be listed? Will it say 1.0? Will it just no longer have the early access moniker on it, but it's going to still be the same game that people currently have? Like, I don't know what this means. But they did say that as a result of the game's development ending, and they also did mention that it's just difficult in the industry at this time. They're going to be laying off a lot of talented staff. And it does sound like a very sad announcement from them. Not like anyone's making them do it. It's just the state of things with development companies like theirs. So kind of a strange one, you know?
Yeah.
I'd like to point to some big bad that we can just say like there's the bad guy doing all this, and it's like sometimes it's just the nature
It's a
of
blameless
finances.
tragedy.
Yeah, sometimes.
Just sounds like it's not.
studio-
They haven't had like continuous success, like
Yeah.
Rise,
Sounds
you know,
right.
like with each game, you know.
Well, to be fair, the early access of Hyper Light Breaker was super hyped and did not
Yeah.
deliver for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They really
Okay.
it's been floating around mixed, sometimes even negative reviews. So a lot of fans haven't been thrilled about it, so it lost any momentum that they had with the announcement of this game. A lot of people were really excited for this game. Early access was underwhelming. Some of the updates were a little better, but still not amazing. And yeah, I just feel like it grew stagnant, you know, and they aren't able to sustain development. So anyway,
I feel like they would be talking refunds, you know, if it was like getting canceled and it wasn't ever going to get to 1.0. But like, I'm with you. It's really weirdly worded and there's not a lot of context and there's not a lot of details.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how to take it. But I just feel like if they were like, yeah, sorry guys, we're not going to make it to release, like you would probably have to be talking refunds and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe they're protected. Maybe it says whenever you buy a game pre-launch or you know, in the state that it was pre-release, like maybe it says it in the fine print that like, this may never work out or whatever, and you're not subject to refunds.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
my understanding of buying early access is there's an inherent risk that comes with that. The game could be abandoned. Technically, anything could be removed from a digital store.
Yeah, nothing's
because
stopping.
you know we're all always agreeing that we're just buying the license to access that game on this platform.
I own all my games.
You don't own anything, right?
You can't. Y'all can't. No, I own everything. They're mine.
I mean, Dan owns everything because he buys all the stuff he really cares
Yeah, Dan's the only one that owns anything.
See all that shit? See all that shit?
But anyway, yeah, that is a bummer. I'm glad that they're not like closing the studio down, but layoffs are always sad. And then my hope is just that if they're like, hey, we were planning on about a year of early access, and so we feel like it's ready. I feel like they would say that though, so I don't know. That's my hope.
I feel like it'd be very clear.
Like, we're ready.
We're excited it's going into 1.0, even though it took, you know, some like, I don't know. Like, there's a way to package that up better.
Yeah. All right. Well, one more sad piece of news. Outsiders, the developer of Metal Hellsinger, has been closed down by their owners, Funcom. So Funcom acquired the studio about 3 years ago, and they've been announcing all kinds of layoffs and closures across the Funcom family, which is not fun at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, not fun.
That's not fun at all. And this is not even like, it doesn't sound like it's even a little bit expected or anything from the Outsiders team who made Metal Hellsinger, and I'm sure we're working on something else super cool and creative because Metal Hellsinger is super rad and super creative. But yeah, and basically the founder David Goldfarb was pretty outspoken, just saying like this is heartbreaking. And so, if any of you out there seeing this have advice, leads, opportunities for this incredible staff, please reach out to me. Like he's basically just asking for help because his team just got shafted. So.
Yeah, this
So it's a major bummer.
this sucks. I'm pretty bummed because I really like Metal Hellsinger because it's like my favorite genre of music, and they combined it with Doom like vibes. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to see them, do a sequel, which I would imagine because the game has like a story. So it's at the end of that game, it's like, oh, you could keep going. So I would have loved to see them continue and like explore new weapons in the game, new mechanics and stuff, and
Right.
whatever they could have done. Because the flow of the music to the combat like was really good. It just worked really
So
well,
good.
especially with metal.
Yeah.
With how bombastic and how
Yep.
it can be. So yeah, this super sucks.
Yep.
Sucks.
Yeah, that is absolutely a bummer. So yeah, here's hoping that we get maybe some form of that team joining together, whether it's at another studio or sometimes it works out where they can form another little independent outfit and continue some of their work. But we'll see what happens with them. But that is a bummer. Funcom, I don't know if they're as egregious as companies like Embracer, but it certainly doesn't sound good. The way that they acquire, shut
Yeah.
down, lay off, acquire. Like,
I think they should
I don't
change
know.
their name. I don't think they deserve that name.
Unfun
Not
com.
not fun. Yeah, unfun. There you
Yeah.
go.
Not fun.
Mean com. Yeah, I don't know.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah. But okay, in some better news, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is getting a big content update. I don't think we talked about this last time. If we did, I'm sorry for
because I think it was after.
It was right.
I think they
Oh
announced
yeah,
it
this
after.
news
was
just
after
hit
we
this
recorded.
week. Yeah.
Okay, good. So Sandfall Interactive is working on an update that features a new environment, boss battles, and more. I'll talk about those in a second. But the big announcement, the timing was, hey, we cleared 5 million copies sold. Huge milestone for that team, which is incredible. Love it. I'm responsible for 2 of those purchases because I love that game, and I'll buy it again if
There
it
you
comes
go,
out on
Tim.
Switch 2.
Come on, Switch.
Doing your
I'll
part.
purchase
Putting
it
out
in
there
the
in the
midst
universe.
of this year. I don't care. It doesn't
I'll
bother
buy
me.
it again. I'll buy it again. So this update is in development for all platforms, and it's going to include a new playable environment, taking the characters of Expedition 33 to a brand new location, new enemy encounters, and surprises to discover. There'll be new boss battles for late game players, so I imagine some really high level optional bosses, which they already had some toughies that
They're
I
so
never
hard.
even
Yeah,
got to.
it's
Yeah.
so tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
New costumes, which by the way was one of the unsung elements of that game. Like the costumes and hairdos were actually, I was like, I like a lot of these. These are really cool. Like they give you these. And I don't usually
Yeah.
mess around with a lot of that in games. I usually kind of leave things standard or whatever. But I did end up changing their costumes and hair a bunch because the designs were just so good. So yeah, there's even more of those, more customization there, and then some localizations for other languages, bringing this total number of languages up to 19. And then they say even more surprises
Nice.
fans can look forward to. So there is a point in that game, like many RPGs, that things sort of open up for you before you want to head into that final series of missions, chapters, whatever you want to call them. And I imagine that's where this content's going to live, probably, where it's
Right.
like, hey, we've
Yeah.
this area that was just a pretty looking area on the map now is actually accessible because there are plenty of spaces they could add the little warp field where you can enter an area. So I imagine it's going to be
Sure.
done that way, or they'll add some of those. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We like that game, don't we? I
The
think
little
we do.
game that did.
It
Not
absolutely
that it
There you
could.
go.
It's that it did.
It absolutely
Sure did.
Agreed.
Sure did.
So yeah, and I would love, again, I don't if this comes out and it's still not on Switch 2, I don't know that I would go back in and just play that content. It just depends on what it is, I guess. But again, if they put it on Switch 2, I'll probably replay it and then I'll totally play that content.
And it's right there waiting.
Come on, guys. All right. Speaking of the Switch 2, it is the best-selling console in the U.S. in its first 3 months of sales in history, and it is outpacing at the moment over the first 3 months the PlayStation 4, which at this point had sold
Wow.
after 3 months had sold 2.2 million units, and the Switch 2 is at 2.4 million. So it's keeping pace with and even outpacing the best-selling console, one of the best-selling consoles ever. So yeah, it's pretty impressive, of course, but it's always good to celebrate that kind of stuff, despite what many would consider to be a strange launch with the dev kit stuff and a lot of games on Switch and Switch 2. Like, listen, all the consoles deal with this. I think PlayStation 5 has had similar issues, even Now that system is, I think, 5 years old, and only in the last year and a half have we gotten a ton of PS5 only. Maybe the last 2 years, PS5 only games. Like PS4 really hung on
Yeah.
for a long time
Yeah.
with that,
Yeah.
and so I'm used
I
to it,
want-
so it doesn't bother me that much. But I do want more Switch 2.
I want
It's
Nintendo to
been a weird
sunset the
console
Switch so
generation.
bad. I just want them to put it to bed. I was so bad.
I
I
know, but
know
it's-
that's so like selfish of me, but I
I
bought Absolum on Switch, and it doesn't have a Switch 2
Me
thing,
too.
so I am playing it like at 7020, like on handheld and 1080 on the screen. I'm just like, it doesn't have to be this way, Like I don't understand why it has to be this way, but whatever.
I bought it on Switch 2 as well. It does run and play really smoothly, but I know that
it's fine. Yeah, it absolutely.
it's a few
great.
pixels shy of what it could look like on another one, but it still looks great.
I think the art style also helps hide, like
100%.
maybe some of the shortcomings of graphics. But
Yeah,
come on, give me Switch 2. Like, give me these games. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense.
I know.
We
Good
need
job.
Trier
We're
to
not.
dig
We're not.
into
We're
that.
not we're not being negative right now. We're being positive. Switch 2.
Yeah.
Good job. I'm a huge fan.
Good job. Yay. I play it all the time. Like, I love my Switch 2.
It's the system I played the most this year, which is crazy. So.
Yeah, that is crazy. All right. And then last but not least on the news front, Xbox decided to add some new and exciting changes to Game Pass. I'm saying that because that's what they said. Let's watch just a little bit of this.
I'm excited.
It's not a long video. But
I'm not sure
is-
this isn't like AI and like you just picked this up online.
Hey,
It's just a
Xbox
weird
Game Pass
AI
is getting
made.
an upgrade. We've listened to your
An upgrade.
feedback, and now you have even more.
They've been
She listened to our
choose
feedback?
How you play the games you want.
Yeah, she
Here's
did.
a look at
Wow.
what's new and what's changing.
Yeah.
Okay.
First off, you might have noticed some changes
listening.
to the plan names. Xbox
We
Game
did.
Pass Core is now Xbox
Uh-huh.
Game Pass Essential. Xbox
Uh-huh.
Game Pass
Wow.
Standard is now Xbox Game Pass Premium. And
Those
Xbox
two are the
Game
same
Pass
price, by
Premium's,
the way.
Premium's better than
Still
standard,
Xbox
guys.
Game Pass Ultimate. We explored other names, but they didn't work out.
Two Pass, Two
I
Fury.
like that
That's
they're also
fun,
trying
guys.
to joke around.
Guys, we're
Okay,
gonna.
I was just gonna say that, Dan. Like they're trying to
Yeah.
keep it winsome
Leaning
and light
behind
and
humor.
fun and funny, but
Yeah.
it's like you're making everyone mad right now. Anyway, let's keep going.
We've expanded all Xbox Game Pass plans to give you more games and more ways to play and more
What more
rewards
games?
than
I
ever.
don't think that's true.
Let's look at
I
the
think
upgrades
things
to
are
the
hidden behind
plans
paywalls now.
I don't think
First
that's
up,
true.
Essential, formerly known
I
as
think you're getting
Core.
less games. I
This
think.
plan is
Yeah,
expanding
it
to
is
give
less
you
games.
more ways to play, including PC and cloud gaming. Previously, Core was primarily
Which I
for
don't care
console, but
about, so.
Essential now lets you play
Yeah.
games on Xbox console, PC, and cloud. That means you have the freedom to stream and play on any supported device.
But you have
And
to
with
own the
cloud
game.
gaming,
They
that
don't really come
includes
with many
a
new
lot of
games.
devices. We're also
Yeah.
expanding the game library so you get access to over 50 games. And of
Oh,
course,
50.
you still
Whoa,
get
50.
online multiplayer, so you can keep playing with your squad. Another upgrade is that Essential now includes in-game benefits.
Let's
How
just
did
be
they
real
rip
clear
this
about something for a
Band-Aid
second.
off?
You can't play online on Xbox without that. Just so you
Yeah.
guys are aware. Like,
Sure,
You
have
have
to
to
have that.
stay at the base level
Right.
just to play online,
Which
which
is
was
$10
the same with
that's-
PlayStation as well.
That
you
was
know?
$10 a month, and it is still currently $10 a month. They just changed
Yeah.
names for that, just so that's
for
clear.
some of
Okay.
the biggest games like League of Legends, Call of Duty Warzone, and Overwatch 2.
Let's skip ahead here a little
Formerly
bit.
known
like all games that are old.
So now we get
While Standard
Premium,
was built
which was
with
$15 a
console
month,
players in mind,
and is
Premium
now
was
still
built with
$15 a month.
everyone in
Same
mind.
price.
So we're giving
Okay.
you more ways to play with this one too, with games
Yeah.
on Xbox console, PC, and cloud. You heard that
I
right. PC
don't
and cloud
care
are
about
coming to
cloud.
Premium. With Premium, you get access to over.
They're just really trying to
200
sell
games.
that.
And when a
Yeah,
new game
yeah.
is
200
published
games.
by Xbox,
Wait,
it'll
everything's
be
in
added to the
Xbox.
Premium library within 1 year of launch.
Wait,
Excludes
look
Call
at
of
this at the
Duty.
bottom.
A little tiny. She doesn't say it. She doesn't say in the small. They have put other words on the screen. All this, and the words were big and vibrant and colorful and big font. This couldn't be less white and less small.
I
It's
know.
insane
So
to
if
me.
you're
like, we're gonna sneak
if you're
this
just
in.
listening, she was talking about all these day one games you can play. At the bottom, as she's speaking, this little white text comes up and it says excludes Call of Duty titles, which is by far like the one that people are.
That-
Anyway, whatever.
The way that looks down there, it looks like somebody like forgot to put that in, and they're like, "Oh shit! Hey, Steve, throw that in there." You know, at the in just like Arial basic font, like
Yep.
Jesus
Feels like you
Christ.
make the
Premium
make the
also
font
now
smaller.
offers the same in-game benefits for some of the
Do
biggest
it.
games. You
Fine,
can
I'll lay you
instantly
off.
unlock characters, cosmetics.
Or it looks like she or the person writing the script didn't know that, so they had to add it in later. They're like, oh, it doesn't
Yeah,
include cloud
yeah.
games.
And
Shoot.
more.
Really small.
Looking good. With Premium, you can play and earn up to 50,000.
Okay,
The best.
here's the big change, and she's about to call it the best one. This is Ultimate, okay, which was $20 a month, and you had access to the full Game Pass library on console and on PC. This is one that I've been subscribed to for a long time. My
Same.
kids use it a
Same here.
lot.
Right.
I use it on PC from time to time. Not as much now as I used to, but I still use it from time to time. I'm usually checking to see like, hey, what's on Game Pass this week or this month? And every once in a while, I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that's coming there. Cool. Okay. Now it's $30 a month. Like that is a massive increase in price, in my opinion. I
It's
just think that's a
incredibly
huge
massive.
jump.
Yeah, it's a huge jump, and you're getting nothing new. Like, there's
Let's hear
nothing-
how
Well, Cloud,
let's hear how
right?
she pitches it. Because let's be honest, guys, she's having a good time. She loves these announcements, okay, or at least she's being paid
She's
to pretend like
having
she
a-
does.
Yeah, that one.
Let's see how she pitches this $10 a month increase, $120 per year more for Ultimate, which is the same name.
Best thing about Ultimate is that you can play new games on day one. That includes
Already
games
could.
like
Oh,
Call of
I
Duty
could already
Black
do
Ops
that,
3,
though.
Right.
The Outer Worlds 2,
Right.
and High
Already
on
could.
Life 2. But now, the best is getting even better. Ultimate subscribers will get access to over 75 day one games a year. We're also adding 2 new partner subscriptions.
So there's 75
With
games you just won't
Ultimate,
be able to
you'll
play
now
if you're on
have
the other.
access to Ubisoft Plus
version.
Classics in addition to EA Play. And
We already had access to
Fortnite
this
Crew
stuff.
will be added in November.
This is all
In
stuff that was
total,
involved.
Ultimate gives you access to over 400 games playable on Xbox console, PC, and cloud. And when you stream games with cloud
Oh, and
gaming,
cloud,
Ultimate
guys, there you
gives
go.
Our best quality with
I'm
the
not
shortest
ever gonna
wait
play
times.
Cloud
To
ever.
round out the package, you
No.
get the same in-game benefits.
It's
you're
never
used
gonna
to.
happen.
And with Ultimate, you can play and earn up to 100,000 rewards
I think their
points
heads
a
are in the
year.
clouds.
That's 4 times the points you get with Essential. So now you know what's new with Xbox Game Pass Essential, Premium, and Ultimate. All 3 plans are designed to give you more value, more rewards, and more ways to play than ever before.
Uh-huh.
And however you like to play, Xbox Game Pass has a plan that's right for you. Because this is how we play now.
Look how big those words
This is
are.
how we
Not
play- oh,
Call of Duty
this is
words.
how we-
Remember how, did you see how big and green those words were? Like they know how to
I-
use font right when it matters.
We could get rid of this. We can get rid of this L. This is how we pay now. That's what
This
it
is how
should
we
say.
pay.
This is how
Sure.
we-
Yeah. Yeah.
that'd be
There you
way
go.
better.
That's
Also,
a
I would love
typo.
if at the
That's a
end,
typo.
like Mission Impossible style, she pulled off the mask and it's Phil Spencer under there. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, that'd
I
be
just,
And he
so
just starts
I
good.
cackling.
This
feel
link
like,
video not even
Yeah.
say the
Yeah.
prices. Did they just put this out and the prices came later in an article?
I don't think they said.
Yeah,
the
I don't-
I
price.
don't think
I'm
the
pretty
prices
sure they-
ever.
yeah.
I think they hid the prices from this.
Yeah, they didn't. Yep, they
This
didn't.
is dirty. Oh, I don't like this at all, man. No way, dude. I'm out on this. I'm out on this
Yeah,
whole thing.
it's pretty bad.
I canceled
It's pretty
my
bad.
subscription that second that article came out. I'm not
Okay,
even
Kyle,
kidding you,
tell me
like-
what happened to their website when this was announced.
I was so first I tried it on the website, and the website was completely down and not operational like at all. Minutes after
Yeah.
those first articles came out, moments after I sent this in the chat or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had to go through the app, the Xbox app, and cancel it there. It was the only place that you could cancel it. Maybe on the consoles you could do it too, but the website was flooded so immediately with so many people who weren't just like posturing, they were canceling their subscriptions, like in mass.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
This is how you fight. You fight with your wallet. When and when not
I
to
will
use it.
openly say, happily to admit, I was one of those people who went in with the purpose of canceling, ended up downgrading because I realized I think my kids still play Rainbow Six Siege with each other across our accounts.
Hmm.
So I'll keep Essential or whatever. I went down to like
Yeah.
the $10 a month so they can keep playing online. But then I didn't know this. He goes, "Hey, some of these games I was playing aren't working." Like he's been playing that Another Crab's Adventure game and a few other like For the King 2, like a few other games on Game Pass that he's been really enjoying and playing. So I was like, shoot, okay. So I went, and I'm not paying $30 a month. I'm just not doing it. Like it's too much. So
That's
I
egregious,
went
yeah.
back to previously known as CD Keys, now called Loaded, and I'm sure this is going to change if it hasn't already. But they were still offering 3-month subscription boosters for $60, so it came
yeah.
out to $20 per month if you did that.
hmm
So I was like, all right,
Right.
I'll just at least I
GameStop
get it
even
at the
came
same
out
price.
and they were like, we're going to sell it at the same price. So y'all come to GameStop
Yeah.
and buy your subscriptions through us and we won't change the prices. So people are like standing up. They're like, this is insane. And I'm proud of people. I don't get to say that very often where I'm like, gamers, you're doing great out there. Usually I'm like, gamers, shut up like all the time, please. But yeah, this time you're doing it right. Like you should answer with your wallets and cancel subs. And you downgraded, you took money away from them, but you're still using the service. So I haven't turned my Xbox on since Indiana Jones. So like, what am I?
Yeah.
So I paid, what are we on the 9th month at $28? You know, like that's a lot of money to play nothing. You know, so if anything, it was just an excuse to do something I should have done a long time ago. And like I own Starfield, you know, so it's just like I like buying my games. I like owning, quote unquote, not owning my games in terms of like buying them and at least having the license for them. I don't like things just to fall off or my subscription to subside and I don't have access to stuff that I'm playing. So this doesn't bother me at all. Claire Obscura was on Game Pass. Tim bought it twice, for Christ's sakes. Like,
yeah,
I bought it too. I left. I'm not playing it here.
And I'll buy it again. Put it on the Switch too.
Do it again. So
yeah, it's gross.
I don't know. Yeah, this is gross practice. And they just the week before we're talking about Game Pass has never been more profitable. It's so profitable, and we're so happy with the output that we're doing right now. And it's all thanks to you, gamers. 7 days later, they're gouging you for $10 more a month. So that's how Microsoft treats you.
They didn't give any actual legitimate reason. There's no oh, we're raising the price because server costs, because of the cloud. You know, we're giving you guys the cloud.
It's not tariff related. It's nothing like that, man. This is just greed. This is all it is. It's just greed. Yeah. You know, and I know like things go up in price, and we get price bumps all the time. I've never seen something have a 50% increase. You know what I mean? Where it's like I've never seen it jump. Usually it jumps like $5 max. You know what I mean? Like whenever they do this stuff, because this stuff has gone up. I think I got Ultimate for $14.99 with it when it originally came out, when this program originally launched. So yes, I understand incremental increases happen, but this is too much, and you're getting less. I feel like you're getting priced out of, or I'm sorry, you're getting gated out of content and stuff like that. I don't think it's a good. I think it's a good
$30 a month is where you have to like honestly ask yourself, like that's when I really start looking at, okay, what are the games on there that I either currently play or absolutely will play? And if it doesn't add up to the right number, I'm just not getting Game Pass. I'll just buy the game. Like if there's a game that I really want, I'd rather spend $70 one time and have it than spend $30 a month in the hope that maybe I play it, you know? So yeah. Problem. And
that's
you know what bothered me too is that it was all pitched as new and exciting changes with Game Pass, and we're giving we've listened to
it was packaged up in lies and deceit.
The whole we've listened to your feedback. Ugh, so annoying.
You know what I'm also kind of tired of, and it's not even like actually a big deal, but like it's more the energy behind it is this bullshit where companies will change the name of a thing almost to like hide like that it's shit, you know, like where I work, for example, that I've mentioned before, that dumb monitoring software that's on our computers so they can fucking breathe down our necks. It used to be called one thing, and then they changed it as if like we're just like, oh, okay, like, oh, I guess like that terrible thing isn't there anymore. No, it's still there. You just changed the name. And here they're like changing the names almost to like confuse the customers, because now it's like 2 different names for 2 tiers, and it's like, well, what is that? You know, like, you know, your mom or grandpa, whatever, going to this, they're not going to know any of this nonsense. Like they didn't know it before.
Go give me Xbox Live, Grandma. You know, they don't. Like, this is so confusing. This is not grandma proof, and that's good marketing. You know, good marketing relies on something being grandma proof. So
it's true. That's true.
I mean,
it's gross.
That's a lot of money to pay every year. I mean, we're talking about almost the price of a console just to have access to this service every year. Like if you look at the price of it over the course of a whole year, that's a lot, man. That's just a lot.
I think it's really only gonna, I think the price still would be fine for someone who literally just only plays on their Xbox, but they do try a lot of games.
I agree.
Yeah.
But still not okay.
Yeah,
Still
or
not okay.
like if they're a multi-Xbox household where multiple kids have multiple X, like that. Sure, I get it. Or if you use this Play Anywhere thing, like there are ways that I can convince myself that this is still a good, point price for people who are in this ecosystem. I just play games elsewhere for the most part, and like I like
Yeah.
Xbox exclusives. I tend to buy those though, so I don't really need Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This
Yep.
doesn't. I thank you for giving me an out, Microsoft. Thank you.
did.
You did listen to my feedback. I appreciate you
They gave
for
a lot.
giving me an
And
out.
I wonder what their
Ridiculous.
numbers. And they'll never announce them publicly, but I wonder what the numbers behind the scenes looked like after this announcement.
Oh,
I
yeah,
hope
I
They're
know.
a
that it was
stockbroker company,
I
and
know.
I watched their stock up, not plummet, but it dipped pretty good after this announcement.
Yeah.
So,
I bet.
yeah, I mean, it's not going to ruin any companies, but like people spoke, and they did kind of revert. Didn't they kind of like, if you're going to get grandfathered in for a little bit longer for $20, I think they have had an update or something like that where that those prices are still coming, but like the can might be kicked down the road a little bit if you're already like in one of those tiers. And again, GameStop fighting back. Everyone's selling it on Amazon for the same prices. I feel like this maybe won't affect people immediately,
But also,
still
if I'm
annoying.
Microsoft, I'm like, just wait it out. People will be mad at this. Wait it out. It'll be normal soon, and then people will be used to it, and then
Yeah.
then it'll be over. It won't be news anymore. So it's a wave of emotional response now. Like we're kind of joking, kind of mad about it. But then like after a while, it'll be like, yeah, that costs $30. That's what it costs if you want to get it.
You as the gamer and consumer of Microsoft products are helping the purchase of Call of Duty. That's what's going on right now. They bought Call of Duty last year. It was a shit ton of money, and that money needs to come back from somewhere, and you as a user are paying for it. So
congratulations for your help.
congratulations, you're helping Microsoft, buy property. So
You played yourself.
Oh man.
you played yourself.
All right, well, let's wrap things up with anything else that we're playing, or if there's things that you're watching that you want to highlight. Dan, why don't we kick it off with you? Is there anything that you've been spending time gaming or watching, other than, of course, the new stuff that we just talked about?
Yeah, it's just been mainly the new stuff. Unfortunately, I haven't dipped back into Hell Is Us, which I do want to, because I want to finish that game. I want to like actually see it through.
I'm in the same exact boat, man. Like it's still installed. I want to finish it. I paused it for now.
Yeah. And then the other day when I mentioned I started watching Bad Boys 2 because I hadn't seen that in a while, and then I did finish that. That movie is just so outrageous. It's like
Great.
really violent, but then it's silly, and then it's like, but then like it gets kind of serious because like just chaos is ensuing in the middle of streets, and you see like, just innocent bystanders running around and like trying not to get shot, but then it's silly, but then people are dying. Like it's just silly, but it's fun. It's a fun movie. It's outrageous.
Dan is a Michael Bay
it's a good
fan.
time.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
That's right. It's true.
He loves Jerry Bruckheimer, productions, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Give me those Transformers movies live at. Give me the second one.
There's
which
one
is
thing that Dan
obviously the
won't
best
stop
one.
talking about. It's like Megan Fox should be in more movies. She's such a good actress. She should be in everything. And we're like, Dan, we know you like her,
Absolutely.
Her voice acting in that Mortal Kombat game was second to none.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Tim, man. I forgot about that. Now it's back in my brain.
All about that, yeah.
Oh man. That was a choice. Somebody made a choice.
I love Bad Boys too. I think that I'm not a huge Michael Bay fan at all times, even though I think The Rock is like one of the best action movies of all time. I think Bad Boys 2 is absolutely one of the best action movies ever. There's just so much style to those movies that I think are fun. And you're right, they're so stupid and loud and dumb. They're everything that people like about Fast and the Furious, but I don't like those movies. So like this is my Fast and the Furious.
I'll tell you, I do think that as a director, he's done some movies that I legitimately enjoy and will rewatch. Like
I like The Island.
I'll watch The Rock, Armageddon, The Island.
Armageddon's great.
The Bad Boys movies. The first Transformers, I still think is pretty fun. The very first one, I really did like that movie.
Yeah.
And I also thought 13 Hours with Jim from The Office was actually a really great flick.
Dude, yeah.
That's the Benghazi accident. I haven't seen it. Yeah, but I know about the
Dude,
incident.
it's so intense, and I don't know how accurate it is, and I'm sure there's political whatever behind it. It's just such a well-made movie, and the actors in it are great.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
He has hits, Yeah. But, he also has Ambulance.
But he has some stinkers. He's got, he did that Ambulance one that I've heard is, one of the worst movies ever made.
It's awful.
I
Comes
forgot
out.
about that one.
Six Underground is an editing nightmare. If you want to watch like
Six Underground was awful.
incomprehensible like action sequences, knock
Yeah.
yourself out with that movie.
Pearl Harbor, they took one of our country's most
so
like
awful.
important moments and turned it into the stupid love triangle. So like,
yeah, it's a movie where Ben Affleck gets cucked by what's his face?
Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, Josh Hartnett. Fuck that movie.
It sounds about right. It sounds
so
about right.
bad.
Yeah, they took one of our most important moments in our country's history and really in the world's history of the turning point of one of the biggest conflicts ever. And they were like, yeah, but which guy will she pick? And I was like, this is the dumbest thing. The dumbest
Listen,
approach
I love
to
Kate
this.
Beckinsale.
It's like Titanic.
I would probably
Titanic.
disrupt the war
big
to
fan.
like be in her orbit, but like still
Sure.
no to all this.
Still no, still not good.
Oh, dude, Kate Beckinsale. Pfft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
I
dude,
have
Kate
eyes
Beckinsale in
and a heartbeat,
Underworld.
right?
we're talking about
Underworld?
this was peak Kate Beckinsale years, right? This was the Underworld, Pearl Harbor, like these years, right?
Oh.
Totally, I get
Oh
it.
yeah.
But it was still one of his worst movies he's ever made.
Oh, it's not like even like the action is just like stupid, like where it's like two people in airplanes like turn the entire tide of Pearl Harbor. We didn't turn the tide there. Like we
didn't.
really got.
They made it look like Cuba Gooding Jr., the cook,
good.
got up there and like took down a bunch of planes. It's like, stop it with this.
No,
Stop
sorry.
it.
This was not
Stop.
a day for heroics, really. Yeah, I'm sure
No.
there were. I don't want to misspeak, but like, yeah, it was a gigantic, tragic, battle.
Yeah.
That they try to like pump up into like a fun popcorn summer action movie, and I'm like, nah, this isn't right.
I know. That's why I'm glad he never did like a 9/11 movie, which is just pure tragedy, and turn it into like, well, here's a guy who like sky glided off of the top with, you know what I mean? Like, don't do this.
Yeah,
Michael.
while fighting terrorists that were in the building also,
Right.
It's
Yeah, like
no,
fist fighting a guy on top of one of the buildings
No.
before it fell, you know? Like, no.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Didn't Nick Cage
That's why
do
Tower
one?
7 fault. That's why Tower 7 fault was because whole different action sequences with ninjas were happening there.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
that Nick Cage did do one. World Trade Center is what it was called, but it was more like a firefighter response movie. Not good. Not a great movie.
It wasn't. Interesting premise, but yeah, not a great movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Dan, was there other ones for you before we jump over to Kyle? Watching, playing.
If there is, I'm literally not remembering because my mind right now is just Final Fantasy Tactics, just all up in there,
baby.
all up in the tactical business.
Goes to Yotei Tactic Final Fantasies, all of it. Yeah, I get
Exactly.
it. Kyle, what about you? Anything else you've been playing or watching this week? I know you've got a lot of time in Battlefield and Ghost of Yotei and Final Fantasy. Have you had time to play anything else or watch anything
I don't know. Not really. No, I'm playing just all new stuff, and I really need to be playing games less. It's insane how much time this like September to now, like I've just been in a fugue state of like long sessions, and I'm like, I need to get out of this or not. I don't know. I'm having a good time. I'm going
I think
to
you
work.
need to dive deeper into it, Kyle. You need to dive
I don't
deeper.
know. I'm fine. I'm
Embrace
doing
it.
fine. Like it's about to be winter. Camping's about to kind of slow down a little bit. So like, let's get cozy, like Tim was saying. No, not really. Yeah, Peacemaker just wrapped up. I like Peacemaker. That's fun. It's super
Season
rated
2 of
R.
that just finished, right?
Yeah. I think like overall, I had like a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that.
Wow.
People love it.
For reception. Very, very, very high. Reviewed thing. I like it. It's fine. It's very fun, very funny, very, very R-rated. I'm not watching. I got a bunch of movies I need to catch up on. A bunch of movies are about to come out. I'll have more that I'm talking about, seeing later. But not just playing all the new stuff. There's only new stuff right now. So I really actually want to hear why Tim is playing so much No Man's Sky, because I know you have a story or a nugget or a mechanic that you're pulling on right now that's gonna like threaten me to play it, and that's kind of what I want to get to, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So, by the way, you mentioned fugue state. I'll just mention this really quickly. Totally rewatching Breaking Bad, and I love the whole fugue state thing that keeps getting referenced.
Sure.
When that becomes like a way that he gets out of this crazy shenanigans that he's stuck in with Jesse is he ends up stripping down and walking to a grocery store, so it looks like he's lost his mind and he's confused. And anyway, the fugue state. It was a great episode.
So that whole show is outstanding. People got that one right.
I'm into season 5 on that show. We've met characters.
Is that the last one, or were there 6 seasons?
I think there's 6. I think
it was Was it 6? I thought it was 7.
I think it's 6.
It could be. I don't know. Yeah.
This, or it could be 5, and I'm in the end game. But I know I'm in the final like stretch of how
once
they
Todd
do their
shows
business.
up, it's
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I had forgotten. I had forgotten the small role but important role that Bill Burr plays in this show. Like he's in it a few
Oh,
times.
yeah.
And I kind of forgotten about. So he's
Yeah.
great. I have new appreciation for Aaron Paul as an actor because I remember when I first watched it,
Oh yeah.
I thought Jesse Pinkman's character was just kind of this annoying sidekick to Walt, and it's really all about Walt. But no, it's these two characters that you are watching kind of be foils of each other, and it's fascinating. Like I have a new appreciation for it, kind of
He has a
knowing
lot
what's
of
coming.
depth. Yeah.
He has so much depth, and Aaron Paul. Listen, I know he's been in some crap movies. I get it, but his performance as Jesse Pinkman is unbelievable. He's so
Oh,
good.
and then
Oh,
and
yeah.
then El
because he-
Camino, the movie, he's so
Yes.
electric in that movie. It like
Yeah.
it's so it's unbelievable how good he is.
He
Yeah,
gets better
he's
with
fantastic.
each season
does.
as
This
the
was his first like
character
big. I know he's
goes
been in
through
things
more.
before this, but yeah, this was his
Yeah.
first big thing, and yeah, it took
This was his
you
first
know,
big, and he
like
the
any
way he
TV show, like you get
communicates-
more comfortable with your character as you play it more.
the way he
so.
communicates trauma of everything from losing a loved one to overcoming and then going back into addiction to being insanely abused and manipulated, but then also like killing somebody to their face and watching him process that over like a long time
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
just it's just unbelievably well done. And this show makes me laugh a lot. Like I forgot how funny it is. It
Yeah.
really is funny. Like there are some hilarious moments in there. And I love it. So
Pizza on the
there's
roof.
there's this moment in season
He's on
one
the roof.
where Walt is talking to Skylar, and she still thinks he's a mild mannered teacher. You know, like it's still very innocent, and he's hiding all this stuff. But he just politely asks her to crawl out of his butt. Could you do that for me, Skylar? Could you do that? Could you crawl out of my butt for me? Could you do
That's
that?
great.
And he,
Yeah.
I was dying because the way he does it. So, and she does not. You could tell she's shocked. Like he never talks to me this way. You know, it
Yeah.
was so.
It's almost like a
good.
Malcolm in the
Right.
Middle moment a little bit, right? But it's
Yeah.
like
Yes,
no,
it's
but
a little
you're
bit
in
of Bryan
Breaking Bad. You're in
Cranston's
Breaking Bad.
humor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny. Anyway, I love that show. Okay. So I've been watching, and I am planning on continuing right in through Better Call Saul because I was telling Kyle this in our chat. The more I thought about those two shows, I was having a conversation with someone about best TV shows ever, and I was like, I think Breaking Bad might not be my personal favorite, but it might be the best show I've ever watched, start to finish. But then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, do I like Better Call Saul better? Because I have more fond memories of watching that for some reason. I don't know what it is. So then I was like, I'm just going to watch both. Let me just get a fresh take
Yeah.
on both. So
It's
I'm gonna
easy to
dive
be
right
like
back into Better
recency
Call Saul.
bias for like Saul also. Be like,
Yeah.
oh, well, it's newer and fresher in my head. But I
Yeah.
agree with you. My knee jerk reaction without homework or without processing is I like Saul more. I think that it's got
Yeah.
more characters to attach onto. Not that Breaking Bad was like limited on characters, but like I like so many of the ancillary characters in Saul, and there's so many heartbreaking like moments and so much like big huge reveals. Both shows
Yeah.
give a lot of gasps. I don't know. Like if you could say either or is like your favorite show, and I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I do like Saul
Yeah,
a lot.
they're both so good.
Yeah, because I picked up Saul after, like, because when I did my recent rewatch, I did that because I was like, well, I'm gonna go watch Saul because I think it was maybe one more season needed to come out. So
Okay.
I binged like the whole thing, and then the last season came out on Netflix eventually, I think, right? Of Better
Yeah,
Call
They
Saul.
did.
Yeah.
And then I saw it on there. I do like Breaking Bad more though, because
Yeah.
I like just the action and the intensity of the action that's going on there. Like Better Call Saul is like a slow burn, and there's like a lot of great moments. Absolutely, there's just more like intensity and action going on in
Right.
Breaking Bad that like for me just like kind of
Whereas-
kept me more like on the edge of my seat of like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Like
Yeah, there's multiple heists. I had forgotten that there were so many really creative, cool heists, whether it's the train or the magnet with the police department or like stealing stuff. Like, anyway, there's lots of cool heists they do in Breaking Bad too that I had forgotten. Like, man, Vince Gilligan, him and his team really coming up with some.
I
crazy
never
cool-
thought you would ever get a character, a bad guy or an antagonist as good as Gustav Fring. I really think Lalo and Saul is
Yeah.
just as good.
Dude.
I think he's just as good. I think he might even
Lalo
be better,
is
in my opinion.
amazing.
He's so crazy. Like, whereas, like,
oh yeah,
you could
yeah.
predict what Giancarlo Esposito was doing because he's so sane and collected and like put together.
Yeah.
Lalo is a wild dog. Like, it's
And he
like-
smiles
Yeah.
at you. Fring never
Oh,
smiles
man.
really.
Yeah, yeah.
But
The
Lalo has
smiling is-
he's
yeah.
so freaking charming with that mustache and a smile. I'm like, look
Yeah.
at this
Oh, yeah.
guy. I like
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy.
He knows
he's
what he's
terrifying.
doing. He knows what he's
Yeah,
doing.
he knows what
Yeah,
he's
he
doing.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
man,
shows.
such good TV. Highly recommend those. So yeah, I've been spending a lot of time watching those. I did spend a little money on the Steam sale, and I haven't played these two games yet, but I bought them because they were super, super cheap. I bought Shadow Gambit: The Cursed Crew. I finally own a
Oh, cool.
copy of that, so I'm excited to dive into that. And then Desperados 3. So I wanted to own both of those. They were both super cheap. I think they were less than $5, both of them. So
Oh, nice.
I was like, there's no reason not to have these in my library on Steam. So I grabbed those. Also got Thief Simulator 2 because I loved that first game. And the second one, I knew it had come out, but I had never gotten it. So I got it. Guys, it's like the exact same game. It just
Thief
looks
Simulator is
better.
very fun.
It's the same
like,
exact
it's
game.
the exact
It's
same game. They just added some new features, some new kind of like loops for you to make money and stuff. But
Sure.
like, yeah, it's the same game. It's the same game, but it's still fun. And then spending a lot of time on No Man's Sky. This Voyager's update, the expedition actually expires, I think, in a couple days. And I've now done it on 3 different saves. I didn't know what expeditions were. I never bothered. I always thought they were like when they launch a new update, you go to a certain spot in the game and you activate a couple new missions. And I never really was like, it's not. I should have looked into them because they are legitimately like you can either do it from a new save, a fresh save, or you go to the anomaly, which is kind of like the hub in the main No Man's Sky game, and you can kind of launch into an expedition. But what it does is it starts you with a brand new on a brand new planet with like none of your inventory, and it's just working you through the new features of that update. So in this case, it's building a Corvette ship. So it starts you off on a new planet. You have no equipment, no gear. You're kind of like starting a new save a little bit, but it fast forwards everything really quickly. Like you get to your ship and realize it will not let you fix it for this Corvette one. So then you build this little warp device that takes you right to the ship, and it gives you your first bundle of pieces for your Corvette. So you build your first one, and then it has all these checkpoints of things to do. It's like, hey, fly your Corvette this distance, or add this many shield mods to it, or this many cargo mods to it, and you keep achieving things, and it unlocks more and more things for you. You get a ton of money and a ton of items super fast. It's very satisfying. And then you end it, and then you can bring all that stuff over either into an official save if you started fresh. If you just go to the game menu and hit start expedition, all the stuff you gathered here, at least the ship that you build, you can now just transfer it into the main game and just play. Now you've got your ship, you got these upgrades, whatever, and you can just go.
Okay.
Or if you do what I did, take an existing save, go to the anomaly, start the expedition, play the whole thing through, then it gives you 8 tech slots and like I think it's like 20 inventory slots. You bring over whatever you want to your main save from the expedition. Important stuff that you found that you want to bring over. And you can copy your gun and your ship if you made something you really like. It'll let you pay a little bit of money in your main save to then just kind of copy and paste it into your main game. So what I figured out, thank you Reddit and some Google searching for this, when you finish the expedition, by then you've got so many pieces to build a Corvette, you don't know what to do with them. There's so many pieces, like all the different modules that you can add onto your ship. So what I did was I built this monstrosity. I added every piece onto the Corvette that I could, to the point where like 100 pieces, it's like you can't add any more pieces on, the game's going to break. Like, it's stop.
Sure.
So once you do that, it doesn't have to look good, doesn't have to fly well. It just is ugly. There's no way this is useful. But you do that, and then you copy it into your main game, and you disassemble it there, and now you've got those 100 pieces in your main game. And then you can go back to the expedition, finish it, and then bring everything over that you want. So it's little things like that I was like, that's so satisfying. So now my main game, I've got I earned like 56 million units, like 14,000 nanites. Like when you finish an expedition, you are launching into the main game with tons of resources that you can use. So that's what it was. It was that process I thought was super fun. I'm really loving the Corvette building. I think it's super cool. I love that. I love that you can just fly above a planet, hover in the atmosphere, skydive down, do some things, beam back up, and keep flying. So you never have to recharge your booster launchers ever. You can just kind of hover.
That's
dive
like
down,
the one
do your
thing I
thing.
hated about it. Like it took so much fuel to boost off of a planet.
I hardly ever have to do that. So anyway, all that stuff's been super fun. I really, really enjoy it, and I wanted to do it on a couple of different saves, including cross save with the Switch 2, which does work pretty well. I tried that a few times. You can pick which saves go up into the cloud and will update automatically. So I've done that a couple times too. While I was watching football, just playing more on one save on the Switch too. It's been a lot of fun. So yeah, man, it's really excellent. The Corvette system they added is absolutely phenomenal. If you are a sci-fi fan and the idea of building your own big old ship, what's the name of the ship from Mass Effect? It's
Normandy.
the Normandy. If you want to build your own Normandy, maybe not exactly to scale, I'm sure people have, and it probably looks amazing, but you can build your own Normandy style ship, and it's totally full of all kinds of add-ons, and there's like a kitchen and your bed and a refinery and storage. All that can be right in there. You just fly that thing around. It's awesome. It's
I
really
regret
fun.
not saying the Pathfinder from Andromeda just to piss off all the Mass Effect fans. Be like, the real ship, the Pathfinder. Everyone's favorite, the Pathfinder.
The normal
Perfect.
what? Pathfinder.
Pathfinder. Got it.
More like the Normandy, you know?
Got it.
There you go.
Nailed it. So anyway, yeah, man, totally hooked back into that ecosystem again. And I've heard that they usually at the end of the year they reopen expeditions, not all of them, but like a handful of them for you to go back if you want to go get a bunch of loot, anything you missed, any experiences that you've heard about, because they're temporary. These expeditions are only open for like a month or two. And then they close them out. But you get tons of rewards, everything from posters you can hang on the wall to glowing neon signs if you want to decorate, to pets that'll follow you around and you can sometimes even mount and ride around on a planet. There's lots of rewards for this.
You should like it should be studied how this game still like turns a profit and like everyone at the studio can still get paid, and like games like Hyper Light Drifter are like not making it.
It's a really small
and,
team.
like,
I'm pretty
closing
sure.
down and. Yeah, but I'm
Small
sure Hyper Light
team.
Drifter's not that big either, you know? Like,
Right,
I
sure.
feel like it should be studied how good they are at this. And, like, just that, hey, if you just keep on giving free content, people will buy your game on sale, you know, like, or you know, whenever they want to play it. So, I don't know.
What was the Switch 2 version I got? It was like $24. I was like, why?
Yeah, I picked it up for $20.
Okay.
I still haven't played it yet because I'm afraid, Tim. I'm afraid that I'll fall in and become you. And I'm glad
Get
you're
sucked
you,
into
but
space.
They don't need two of us.
Metaphorically.
Like wherever
Yeah,
we
they
turn this
don't.
into a
You're right.
No Man's Sky podcast where you and I are just talking
I
about
know.
everything.
I know.
No Man's Cast.
It's so good.
No Man's Cast.
It's
yeah.
like, it's the kind of, if you're a sci-fi fan, it's the kind of game that as a kid you would just like, if someone's like, what kind of game would you want? I'd want it to be this
yeah.
and like this,
Yeah.
and you could do this and you could do this, and that's what this is.
Pirates?
It's like all those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all
It's the
those
full
things.
package.
Yeah, for real. Including like the space dogfighting stuff is super fun. And when you have a big old Corvette, you're slow, but you're super powerful, and you have tons of guns attached onto your ship, and you're just ripping through these little ships, but they can zip around you because you're a big old freighter type ship now. So
X-wing versus Star Destroyer type stuff. You know?
yeah, you feel like this gigantic ship because you are, and yeah, but you can really power it up with some crazy guns too. So it's very fun. Love it. One of my favorite ongoing games, and I think it will be for a while. So anyway,
Good
all
feel
right,
good story.
good catch up episode, guys.
Yeah.
We did it. We're back.
Covered everything.
And next week it's all
Played the
Pokemon. That's all we're
games.
going to talk about. Just Pokemon
Oh,
ZA
God,
the whole
yeah.
time.
Oh, is that
And,
what we're going to talk about? Aura? Are we going to talk about the
Yeah.
different auras of different Pokemon? Is that what
Yes.
we're doing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have my sons on. They're gonna tell me which one has more or less aura.
I'm
it's gonna
telling
be
you,
great. I can't wait.
If I played this game and it's not half as good as all these assholes have been talking about in games journalism, you're gonna hear some words from me.
Yeah,
you know,
we're gonna
like,
rage.
Oh, you're talking about the new Pokemon?
Yeah.
I still have absolutely no interest. Get out of here.
Yeah.
No interest. It's in the city.
We know.
Get out of here. I don't want to be in the city. I want to be out in the world.
That's the most
catching all the
interesting
mons.
part to me is in the city. That's like so interesting to me. Everything else about that game, not so much.
You know what, Kyle? You're
Uh,
like all these weirdos that like, hey man, I want to be like in the city, just congested, surrounded by all these people. Like,
Yeah, that you're describing
me
me,
out
the
in-
most
in the-
introverted person I've ever met. Yes, you are absolutely dead.
put me out in the boonies. Put me out in the boonies.
The guy who goes out minimalist camping in the forest in the middle of the
Yeah.
winter.
Freaking
Yep, you
Kyle
got me
City
nailed to a
Slicker over
T.
here.
City
City
Slicker.
Slicker.
Such a city slicker. Yeah, it'll be interesting next week as we dive in. It's like Pokemon is, I think, the only really marquee.
Is that
release,
next week?
but
16th?
that is next
You're
week.
right. Yeah,
That's
It's this
crazy.
coming week.
I did not realize that was next week.
I didn't. I just have no
Yeah,
idea what
yeah.
day or time it is.
So
to be
we'll
honest,
get into that and to a
Thank
few other
you.
things that are out. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.